Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hanna. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Okay, yeah. So this is how we start our show.
Okay.
We literally just hit record. And like
And
I
then
said
we
a couple
just
minutes,
start,
a couple minutes ago, I was like, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Just talk crap and talk about stuff and things.
Yeah. You're on Around the Reel right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. We don't mess around.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I'm tired of shit.
I'm like, we're exhausted.
Yeah, and I felt bad too.
Started.
Yeah, I felt bad because I was like, oh man, I got to get some energy because we got the show today. And we pride ourselves, Matt, on being like professional. You know what I mean? And not fucking around. And give everybody the same energy, but bro, I'm tired, bro.
Matt, you got screwed. We did not have it today, but...
What show number is this? Like 150?
Oh, God, no, it's like 180.
70, it might be 180.
I think you are. I'm about to find out about now. You are number 180.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really
That's
impressive.
a solid
guys.
number.
Super
Yeah, that's
It
a
is
good
a
number.
solid number,
Yeah. I think it's
We love
cool
this.
when a guest gets like a zero number. You know what I mean? If it's like 150 or 200 or 180. Those are all work. You know, if you're like 162, no one remembers. Sorry, whoever 162 was.
So yeah, you're lucky and unlucky at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah, we're tired of shit, but you get 180.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got it. We'll probably have our best
What were you guys
conversation.
working on last night?
Oh, we were filming part of our Hoarders.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Episode 7. That's what we were doing with Peter Anthony. Oh, yeah, and he gave us this, which is kind of cool, and I'll show everybody.
Oh,
Yeah, Rosebud.
he did,
Yeah, he gave us Blu-rays and shit. This guy thinks he's a pimp. You know, he comes to set, he's got all his bling on, you know, showing off his muscles, you know.
He does one of these while he's waiting for his part.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got the fucking, he's curling,
Yeah,
stay
you look
pumped
jacked.
up for camera.
I should do that too.
I know.
I know, right?
We should all do it, but
I was like, this guy. No, we had so much fun though.
Yeah,
he's perfect
a fun guy.
for the role. And this is the first time we got to meet him in person because he's coming from what, Connecticut? I think it is.
Connecticut, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Cincinnati.
No,
Sorry.
it's Connecticut. It's
Is it
Connecticut. Yeah. I always want to say it's Cincinnati because I like Cincinnati because
Oh, you told me that.
WKRP.
Okay.
I might have messed up when I told you that
You
before.
really lied to me, Aaron. And
I didn't
now
lie.
I've been
It's a
saying-
simple mistakes.
I've been saying Cincinnati.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I think it's Connecticut. Yeah.
Whatever. Well,
it still
wherever
starts
you're
with a
from,
C.
Peter.
Yeah. You just a C word. Just use that. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
So, Matt, yeah, that's what we were working on.
That's
what we were
great,
doing
man.
last
I watched
night.
several of those episodes.
Oh, have you?
Super cool, yeah.
Oh,
Appreciate
thanks.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for
very
watching.
much.
Yeah,
They
they're
got
a lot of fun.
Ton of work. You guys are just like, making
We
a
try.
lot of stuff.
We try, yeah. We are doing a lot of stuff. We almost overdoing it, like too much, I think.
Yeah. That's why I'm old and tired all the time.
How many shoot days you guys do a month? Just out of curiosity.
Oh God.
2 to 4.
Yeah.
2 to 4.
But no, not if we have a documentary going.
No, yeah, fuck
So
that.
we've
yeah.
been doing weeks. I mean,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like, you
2
know.
to 4 for like that Horrorverse, yeah.
Yeah, on average, 2 to 4. But yeah, when we threw in Sam's doc stuff, we were gone. We shot, 5 days? Straight?
5 days straight.
Yeah.
That time, yeah. Or the last time.
That was last month.
Yeah.
So we shoot a lot
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah,
but
that's
we're,
awesome.
we're making up time.
Yeah.
You know, time is what I think is the most valuable thing you have.
It is.
And I wasted so much of it in my life. I don't want to waste it.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel the same way.
Yeah, exactly. So you push through. You just wish you were 20 years younger doing what you're doing now.
If I would have
Right.
known
Yeah.
then what I know now.
Because I had more energy, man. You know, you could, like today, I was just
Yeah.
like, I shouldn't need a whole day to recharge and recover.
Right.
It used to be a couple hours.
A couple hours, I was good, and I could get back and go. No, I need all fucking day.
Well, if you're filming till 2.
Yeah, that's the
we're,
thing.
Yeah, we're old. We go to bed early.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. All right.
That's
So
how it is. But you know about that.
Yeah.
Because we
That's
have
why
Matt.
I like post-production work because it's you get to sleep. You get
True.
normal sleep schedule,
Yeah,
for the
there's
most
not
part.
as much of
Yeah.
a yeah.
We gotta get out there and
Yeah.
do this crazy thing at this time.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
But yeah.
Exactly. But
Well-
I mean, it's all crazy.
it's
No
crazy
matter-
fun.
No matter what you do, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy fun.
Yeah, I
It
get
is.
jacked up
Yeah.
all the time. So it keeps me sane though. At the same time, even though I'm exhausted right now, it keeps me sane.
Yeah.
It really does. I need
Yeah,
that
totally.
balance. Yeah.
Otherwise, you get wrapped up in the grind, and that
Real
can-
life sucks. It sucks. Real life
yeah.
is
Life's
so
hard.
stupid.
Everyone
No one told us
needs
it
an
could be this
escape.
dang hard.
I
It's
know.
been hard.
It is hard. It has been hard, especially lately with the prices of everything are just insane. So
It's just
like,
it's
what
so
do you?
fucking monotonous.
And you look at it and you're like, what are my kids gonna do
Yeah.
if this keeps up this way?
Yeah,
like
it's
sad.
like do the same thing every day, and it just gets boring. It's so dumb, and that's where I lose the
Monotonous.
luster. You know, I desparkle. You know, but that with movies and stories, and when we're doing the show here, it's like I'm not tired right now. I'm full of shit. Like I was tired before you got here.
yeah,
You know, and we talked about this before, where it's like, oh, well,
we love this stuff.
maybe
though.
Matt will do it another day. You know, you're thinking that in your head, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, fuck it. And then Sam's like, no, we're still going to have fun. She had a burst of energy. She was ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay,
well,
we can
I'm
do
super
this.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
And I was too. I'm just selfish because I was tired.
Right.
However, you know, now I'm like, okay, let's do this. This is fun. But see, I don't get that anywhere, like at the day job.
Yeah.
In my real
Yeah, you
life.
don't get that,
No,
yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
that. That's stupid. I feel like shit all day until I leave.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
All
wake up
day?
at 4:30,
Oh,
basically,
man.
and when I'm done at work. That's when I actually wake up. Our brain goes, hey, okay, you got your life back. That's what happens to me every day.
It kind of. I mean, I feel like
It
a lot of
sucks.
people have to do. But you know what? You can't. You have to. I mean, a lot of people have to, and we have to.
We all have to.
Because yeah,
It just sucks.
other stuff doesn't bring the cash flow immediately or fast enough
No.
or
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, it comes and it goes. It's a fluctuating kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And an indie filmmaker,
You're
it's
doing
even
good,
hard to
you're
be
doing good.
consistent.
When you're not, you're not.
Yep, yep,
When
yep.
you're-
It's true. Yeah, I think I'm only really happy when I'm making something.
Right. Yeah.
That's like, you know, even when it's done and you're showing it, it's not the same as making it.
Right.
When you're done and showing it, then you get judged and critiqued, and
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of got some reality, you know, hit
Yeah,
in the face.
exactly.
Yep,
But
yep.
when you're, I mean, that's kind of the goal. I guess.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the reason why I love doing this series the way it is, because it's forced me to keep making new stuff, not have this big gap.
Yeah, man, that's the way
So
to do
that's
it.
what's fun, you know. It's just like every month, let's do something. Every month, just go, 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 go.
That's smart.
And it doesn't keep you, you don't get lost and lazy too long in the real world, and then, you know, it takes a lot of energy to push yourself to do art sometimes too. But if you push yourself to have deadlines, and you put it out there like, hey, next month be ready for another short, now you gotta fucking make it because people are gonna be waiting for it, right? So you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't say anything to anybody, no one knows what you're doing,
And
then
it's
you
not
can
a
don't have to do
bad-
anything.
It's not a bad thing to push yourself, but at the same time, yeah, life can drain you.
Absolutely.
Just in and of itself, you know, like just your day job and the bills and the kids and the you know, everything,
All of it. Yeah.
the grind.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
sucks.
it'll get you sometimes, and you don't feel like sometimes doing art, but you always know when you do it, it makes you feel good
Yeah.
and better.
Yep. Just
When
like
you're
going to the
creating.
gym. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
It really is like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is, and that's unfortunate because in a perfect world, all of us artists would be able to just create
Be
and
badass.
be happy all the time.
Dude, I would love life. Can you imagine?
It'd be so
every day,
great,
just get
yeah.
up and like, what are we gonna do today? Okay. we
Well, I
gotta
mean,
do
that's the goal, right?
That's
you
the
know?
goal.
I mean, that's the goal for all of us creatives is that
It's
we all
fun.
get to do what we want to do for a living and make money doing it, and we should because we're creative.
Yeah, and I'm not even trying to get a lot of money. I just want to survive. Just,
Just
enough,
enough-
to
enough,
get by
yeah.
and pay the bills and be like, okay, we
Yeah.
got some change left. Okay, we put something in the bank. But now we can go. Like, we can go out to eat once a month. Perfect. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Without the day job, though.
Without the gym.
Like,
yeah, without that fucking thing. Anyway, all right.
All right, well, let's get down to business because
Yeah.
we have a super exciting guest today, and I'm very excited. Matt Wilkins, welcome to Around the Reel.
Welcome,
Yeah,
my
thanks for
friend.
having me.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
thank you so much for coming. And
Yeah.
he came to the studio, which is not really so
In-house.
much of a studio anymore. It's our home. Well, it's always kind of been our home, but
Yeah, but this is a real show. We're on the
Yeah.
real.
yeah,
So this is real. This is a real house.
we get real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
you're
get
real
real
house.
up in here.
Yeah, yeah. Bathroom's got shit on the floor. Not real shit, but you know, like I hope there's not real shit in there.
I hope so too.
But you know what I mean? Kids don't fucking care.
Don't
They throw
jinx it.
rags everywhere. There's towels everywhere. Jace's toys are all over the place. They don't give a fuck.
Dog toys
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah. Toilet paper rolls hanging off. They don't care. Whatever. And I'm like, yeah, bathroom's over there, Matt. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Hopefully, there's no really dirty clothes in there.
He's hovering over the toilet like, Jesus Christ. I'm not sitting on this thing.
So this is kind of funny. I just have to throw this in here. My aunt, so Cindy stopped by while we were gone filming yesterday,
Okay.
Aaron, because she really had to pee, and she lives all the way in Spanaway. That's far. So she had to pee really bad, so she stopped here, and she was like, I hope you don't mind. I'm stopping at your house, and I'm going inside because I gotta pee.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, that's fine, but I didn't get it until way later. And so I said, no, that's fine. I hope you win. I hope you let yourself in. Doors always open.
Right.
Not to like, people who are going to rob us.
We
But
got it.
anyway, so she was like, yeah, okay, I let myself in. But she was bitching about the toilet upstairs.
Yeah.
Because she was like, why is that toilet so small?
Yeah, it's tiny, right? Yeah. Yep.
Because it's like a kid's toilet.
It's little, dude. You got to squeeze your butt cheeks together and sit down on it and then let them go. And then you're good. You just got to lock them in.
But she was like, yeah, just what's wrong with your toilet? I'm like,
that's
that's the
weird.
kid's toilet. We
Yeah.
don't use that one.
No. Well, I do because you
I know.
have the bathroom a lot
Oh, yeah.
downstairs, but it's fine. It's fine. I figured
All
it
right.
out. There's a technique to it, Matt. If you're here longer, I'll show
Okay,
you how
yeah,
to do
yeah.
it.
There's 4
I gotta get
bathrooms
out of
in
here
this
before I
house, so
forget.
no one, you can't.
Anyway, all right. So Matt, you understand what we're talking about with creativity.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you tell the audience a little bit about who you are and what you've done, why you do it.
How far back do you want me to go?
As
I
far
don't
back
know.
as you
Whatever,
can.
it's your show, man.
Yeah.
You tell us.
This is your
How do we
show,
get to
yeah.
know Matt Wilkins?
Let's see. I guess I made the first film when I was 18.
Okay.
After just right after the summer after high school, we made like a Super 8 horror film called The Intangible Foe.
Okay.
And but at that point, I was an English major, and was kind of more of a writer. And I wanted to be more of a writer. But I always remember having a lot of fun making that film,
Okay.
like making the props, making just the whole process of it. And then we went to, after we graduated from college, my wife and I went out to Philadelphia. We were there for 6 months. We bought a VHS camera and started shooting some just goofy stuff. And then we moved out here like 92.
Okay.
And I went out to public access and just made a whole bunch of skits out there.
Oh, cool. Wow, that's kind of cool that you got to do that. How'd you get to do that?
We just went out there and took a class. And they gave you like an old 3/4-inch tube camera. And you had to warm up.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
That's cool.
Edit it on tape to tape, and then I made a couple pretty funny ones. One was called The Poet Gets a Ticket, and it was like the poet trying to talk his way out of a parking ticket.
No joke.
And
That's
then the
great.
poet goes dining and dashing, tries to talk his way out.
Okay.
The poet does these goofy things.
Oh,
and
that's funny. That's
and
super cool.
I think that was what led to my first grant in '94 from the Seattle Arts Commission.
Oh, nice.
And I made a bunch more shorts with that, including The Gods Looked Down and Laughed, which was like a silent film, kind of Buster Keaton type of slapstick comedy.
Awesome.
Wait a minute. I
Super
think I've
8.
heard of that movie.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
Well,
Someone told me about that.
It's a line from Duck Soup, I think. If
Okay.
I remember right. God, it's so long ago.
No, I think somebody we've talked to, Sam, mentioned that. Oh, you know who I think it was?
Who was it?
The composer that lived down the block from us when we lived in North Tacoma.
John Bayman?
I think it was John Bayman.
John Bayman.
I think it was him that mentioned
my
that
gosh.
movie. I think so. Anyway, continue. Sorry, I'm just...
Who's the? It was the guy. It was a guy. I forget the composer was. It was Holcomb W. Jeeves.
Okay.
He was a West Seattle composer.
Okay.
Um,
That sounds familiar, too. I wonder if that's the
he
same
just
thing.
he just played the piano. He just watched it one time and played along with it. That was it.
Oh,
wow.
shit, wow.
That's
Yes.
super
Okay.
good.
But Buster Keaton style. old
Yeah.
school.
So we did
cool.
one of
That's
those.
cool.
That was Super 8. Cut it on the little flatbed, the little
Mhm.
home reel-to-reel thing.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then got a couple more grants, and then I made another short film in '99 called Interior Latex, and that premiered at SIF, and then played down in Portland when Matt Groening was the judge, the Simpsons creator.
Yeah.
So we won an award for that film there with
Awesome.
a couple other filmmakers and stuff. I think John Jeffcoat also won an award there for the Bingo documentary he made way
Okay.
back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so that was probably the best short I made. 16 millimeter.
Wow.
Cut that on a flatbed at Wiggly World. That was right when it was. I had a choice between 901 Media Arts Center, where we could use the new Avid system,
Okay. Yeah.
non-linear system. I think it was. I don't know if it was Avid or it might have been Media 100. But it
See,
was.
I only know some of this stuff because I've researched like old school filmmaking before.
Yeah, I
just to
fucking
get
lived through it.
But I've never had to use it. Yeah, you lived through that shit. No, I started with DV tapes. That's where I was.
Oh yeah.
So
That's about where I was at too. Like it was, and So Interior Latex. I cut the first draft on a flatbed.
okay.
And by the time, I think a couple years later, we were using Final Cut Pro. And so I went back actually and cleaned it up. Because there are a couple bad cuts that were just, in the fucking flatbed, it's just, you don't even really notice it until
Right.
Yeah.
you show it to people.
Right.
Oh,
And then you're
fuck.
like, oh.
And it's
That's
all like,
crazy.
crunk.
It's so hard.
All the
to
cuts
do.
go like this through the thing,
Right.
through the gate. So you're like,
It's It's a dance, right?
So you're imagining what the cut's gonna look like when you finish the print.
Okay.
And so yeah, that was pretty. That film played a lot of festivals. Played on Italian TV. It played
Nice, man.
by about 20 different festivals. It was pretty good.
Okay.
And then that at that point, Wiggly World was trying to make some feature films, and they started this grant called the Start to Finish grant. And I got I think I got the second one of those. I think the first one was Out of the Blue. I forget that filmmaker's name. It's so long ago. Might have been Sue McNally. But might not be. I can't remember actually.
No,
That's okay.
And so then it took me a couple years to get that my first feature made. It was called Buffalo Bills Defunct.
Okay.
And we shot it on 16 millimeter. But by that time, I cut it on Final Cut Pro because the flatbed was way too hard. It was super hard for a 13-minute film, let alone
right.
80-minute film.
How did you get access to Final Cut Pro when it came out back then?
I can't remember. I think we probably got the academic edition.
Okay. Wasn't that shit super expensive?
$300 or something.
It was only $300 back then?
For the academic version, if you said you were a student.
Yeah.
For students,
Right.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a student of life.
Right. Yeah, good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I
We're
think
all students.
I started cutting on Windows Movie Maker.
Oh, okay.
And that's the reason why I was got into this, because I didn't know you could do it on a computer before until I saw it was on preloaded when a laptop I got back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, cool. But then I saw there's these other programs out there like Sony Vegas and all these other ones that were out like Final Cut. And I found the first free version I could find and use that.
Yeah.
Which is basically a torrented fucking software that I use to
Yeah,
fucking learn.
Right.
Yeah, I fucking stole it. God damn it, because I wasn't spending $1,200-$1,300
I stole it too.
You didn't have the 12.
I didn't have it. I didn't have it, man. It's expensive.
Yeah.
But that's how I learned. That's how I learned too. Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's fun.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay,
So
so
then, over a period from '94 to about 2008, I got over 16 years. I got about 14 grants and fellowships from For Culture, Artist Trust, and the Seattle Arts Commission.
How cool.
And so, that first one in '94 I got was like $7,500. So I made a bunch of shorts with that.
cool.
And so yeah, man, those organizations were they changed my life.
Yeah, so let's
sure.
talk about that. So we've never talked about grants on the show.
We have
because
never.
no one ever talks about being able to get one or even know how to get one.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's because it's kind of changed. I think it's back then things were cheaper. The money that they had went further. I don't know. I'm kind
And
of
a lot of them,
now.
a lot of them, they offer through the schools and stuff. So you have to have that. You have to have a certain education, or going that way, or whatever. A lot of the student ones.
Well, like you
say,
said, he's student of life.
Yeah, and we all are. But no, I mean like a literal student.
I think you can still apply. As far as I know, you can still apply for every year that For Culture has. Yeah, it gives about like $10,000 a piece, if I remember right.
There are some that you don't. Yeah,
But
you don't
get-
have to.
Okay.
So there's still For Culture and Artist Trust, and but man, I've been gone for a while, so I don't know exactly what's still around. And then the Mayor's Office of Arts and Cultural Affairs, if you live in Seattle.
Yeah, well, there's tons of grants. There's
Yeah,
absolute
totally.
tons of them.
Northwest Film Forum's got one now. That's the Lynn Shelton grant that I forget the name of that. I just heard about that the other day. It's for women over 39, I think, or over 40. First time filmmakers.
But then you got to go in and you
First
got
time
to
feature filmmakers.
then you got to read everything and you got to find one that applies to you and then you
It's a
got
lot
to
of
get an
fun.
application
It's a lot of work.
and you got to fill it all
It's a lot
out.
of
You got to
work.
meet all the requirements.
You gotta be an
Yep.
A student. You gotta fucking do everything just right. You
Yeah.
gotta do the budget just right.
Yeah.
If you fuck up one thing, they're just looking. Those panels are just looking for.
A mistake to be able to
Yeah,
toss it.
because you gotta make a lot of decisions really fast.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So that's tough. And you're talking about filmmakers here. They want to go make movies. They don't want to do all that. They don't want to do the business.
Yeah,
side.
yeah. And you probably don't even really need to do that anymore.
I don't know. I know. I've
Yeah.
looked at a few and I'm like,
I've
fuck
looked at
this. I'm gonna go look at some
I've
others.
looked at hundreds of them. And,
I know you
there's-
have.
And you narrow it down to a certain ones that you qualify for. Because the qualifications are, obviously the first thing. You check those off. And if you qualify, then you can apply. But
If you ever find one that says black, cool, funny guy, let me know.
I've never found
No,
those,
no,
but,
not at all. How about good-looking 50s guy
No.
that's half black
No.
but is still holding on? No.
No, but
Okay.
you know, so grants
We'll
are
keep an
kind of
eye out.
out for you, but no, I'm kidding. No, but grants are not a bad way to go, but you have to do the work.
Yeah.
You definitely have to do the footwork when it comes to those, and you have to have all your ducks in a row.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. It doesn't
It
look
is.
fun at all.
Yeah.
That's a grind.
But so that took me up to about 2008, and then I made my second feature, Marrow. It's kind of like a hybrid family drama horror film.
Okay.
Kind of like a bad seed story about this woman who's afraid there's something wrong with the kid.
Love it.
Oh.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's something living in the walls of the house too that she thinks is living in there. So it kind of reminded me of his house because they tore apart the walls, and I was like, oh man.
Oh, that's my movie.
We did
Oh,
Yeah,
that.
that's my movie. You
That's
took my movie,
awesome.
Brad. You stole part of my movie.
They did it way better.
That's cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. But so then I was trying to finish that second feature, and one of the guys that was helping me edit it, he was working at Screaming Flea Productions down in Georgetown in Seattle.
Okay.
And I tried to get a job there several times. He's always sent my resume. Never heard from him. But then this guy was like, "Man, we got this new show, and we need field producers because nobody can hack it. Everybody who goes out to try to produce this show." They're just revolted, disgusted. They just can't wait to get back to the hotel. They all quit right after their one gig. And so I was like, all right, well, what is it, you know? So then I went in and I met the owner of the company, Matt Chan. And I at the same time, I think I pitched him a TV show idea. It was called American Beatdown.
Okay.
I still think this would be a good show, but it's like about backyard brawlers.
Oh,
about
badass.
how everybody's
Oh,
beating
yeah.
up on each other.
Yes,
Like,
I love
totally
that.
caught on after that.
Dude,
That was
yeah.
like 2009.
Yeah, because
And
who's
that's
that big black
it's all
guy?
over YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
right, that guy.
That
Right.
guy. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
badass
Just
back
like,
then. He would destroy people in their yards, dude. He was.
Badass.
Wherever that's happening, I know that there's good stories in that community.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
wherever that's
Hell
happening.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, dude,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right around that time.
So
too.
American Beatdown, that never
Shit.
went anywhere.
That'd have been
But-
fucking
It
But
dope.
then, like
should've,
about a
though.
week later, the Screaming Flea called me up and like, Matt, you want to go to Hawaii? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to go to Hawaii. And they're like, okay.
Shit, yeah.
So they sent me out. It was my first episode of Hoarders.
Hoarders.
And it was we went
No
to.
wonder they quit.
So yeah, they didn't get to go to Hawaii. That was an incredible coincidence because there was only two
okay.
hordes ever in Hawaii.
Oh,
And
okay.
I got my first one was in Hawaii. So the first day I was like on Waikiki Beach, drinking a beer, being like, "This is the greatest job ever. Screw independent filmmaking. I want to work on this show."
Fuck yeah. Yeah. No
But then you
doubt.
had to go to the house.
Yeah,
Dun,
then
dun, dun.
The next day it was it was
Brutal.
slap in the
Some
face.
brutal
so,
shit.
Wow.
yeah.
So Hoarders.
Yeah, so then I worked on that show from like 2009 to about 2017.
Oh wow. Okay, so you did a bit.
9 seasons. I did 52 hordes
Wow.
as a field producer,
Wow.
supervising producer.
Unbelievable.
All right.
Crazy,
So
crazy cool though.
yeah. So what's the details of your job then on a TV show like that as a producer?
So
I mean, you're going to these
go out
homes,
there-
obviously,
Yeah,
but
you get like information from the casting department, and the casting department of Screaming Flea was on that show Hoarders was fantastic. They always just found the craziest people.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they did like
It's
a
great.
bio cheat sheet.
Okay.
And they gave it to us, the field producer, and we just read it, study up, call the person on the phone, just say hi, and then we show up. And as the lead producer, you do all the interviews. You kind of just try to get the story, the backstory. You try to find all the. I mean, it's been a while since I've done one, so I'm trying to remember. But there's always like certain elements that make the show work. Like you need to
Yeah.
trigger what causes hoarding problem.
Right.
yeah.
No one, everyone wants to talk about that. So the hardest part
Right.
of your job is to try to dig and get
Definitely
them to
find
talk
that.
about that.
Yeah.
And
Find something you can throw away so they get all crazy on screen.
Yeah.
What's,
Well,
yeah.
we were really curious about it because you're
love it.
credited for writing.
Yeah, we
on
get
that
writing
show.
credit. That's what's so cool about that show is
yeah.
because
Yeah.
if you get an
And
on-screen
we
writing
were like,
credit,
how do you write a Hoarders?
Yeah, that's dope. I was like, fuck, that's badass.
That's because up here they just made that name up for us, and it was actually a really nice thing for them to do because if you get an on-screen writer credit on any show,
absolutely,
you get
yeah.
residuals from the Screenwriters Guild.
Oh, nice.
So we
okay.
still get to this day we get foreign tax levies and foreign
Sweet.
residuals,
That's dope.
Oh, that's very cool.
which isn't very much money, but it's
Well, and still,
No,
it's-
but it adds
yeah.
up, you know.
But that's why down in LA they don't want to give you that title. You get story producer,
Oh,
Right.
okay.
or supervising producer, or senior.
So
story
they don't have to
producer.
give those residuals out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hollywood, man, I swear to
And they
God.
just don't pay as they don't pay as much probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Well,
that's actually not true, but you don't get the residuals. You don't get credits towards the Screenwriters Guild.
okay.
It just kind of depends.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. So what was it like though on that show? Like, what was your experience? Was it obviously you did it for a while, so it was fun. You enjoyed it.
It was like the greatest thing ever. It was like that was like another big thing that changed the course of my life was trying to this battery is dying here.
Is it dying?
Does it matter?
Okay. No, I'll fix it. Hang on. Keep talking.
Okay. But so yeah, I mean,
Good looking out.
you know, I had already made 2 feature films. I wasn't making any money at it. It was been a long struggle to make those films, and there are stories I really wanted to tell. So I'm really glad I got to make those films. But on the other hand, it's not really sustainable. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, you'd call on to make a feature film. You call on so many favors from all your friends and
Oh
family that
God, you're not.
you know, at a certain
kidding.
point, you got to like make a choice between your marriage and your art. And
Yeah.
I chose my marriage.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
So
When it comes down to that kind of a thing, yeah,
and
definitely.
you know, I got really lucky in a lot of ways because I kind of landed on my feet. I was able to take some of the things that I learned as a filmmaker and artist and apply them to this new kind of profession, which is just documentary filmmaking in a very structured program. And so, yeah, I mean, there's as a field producer, you do all the interviews, you kind of shape the story as you go, you make sure you're getting the B-roll to support the radio cut, basically.
Right.
And then as the cleanup starts, you just try to integrate the subjects. You know, you got this professional cleanup expert, and then you've got a therapist, and then you've got a family, and they have all kinds of different kind of voices within that family.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to, you know, in a very natural, subtle way, integrate all
Get
the
what
people.
you need
Get
out
it
of it.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get all the pieces of the story.
Documentary
that
style,
show.
yeah.
So that's
Yep.
the reason why that show is so good is because if you put any family together and just get them talking, there's going to be conflict.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes there's more conflict than others. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
just like, bam, we're fighting, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is great.
But other
Keep going,
times
keep going.
people will be more shy, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like, why don't you go in there and see what your mom's doing?
Fucking instigate them.
Yeah, it's part of the job is instigation.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
but, I mean,
in the
it's
most subtle
entertainment.
way,
Yeah.
so that they don't,
You know?
so that you know, the ideally, you don't want anybody to think he did it. You know?
Yeah,
You want it to
yeah,
be, just
for
be
sure.
like natural.
Yeah.
So you've learned stuff about these people over a couple days.
Yeah.
So there's, you know,
How interesting.
That's so fun.
How interesting.
it's more
of a
like being
job.
like a you know, like a really good host at a party.
Yeah.
Like you should go talk to that person.
Right.
You should talk.
Yeah.
Because you know
Like
what's
you
going
know,
on.
right? I know right
Yeah.
where you need to be right now to make this a good story.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's a skill. That's a talent. That's definitely very artistic of you to be able to guide it like that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's definitely crazy. 'Cause
That's-
we were wondering, how do you write one of those? Aaron and I
Yeah.
were like, how do you write one of this?
It's
Yeah,
just like
the
giving you a writing
writings-
credit on your doc. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Totally.
obviously,
Yeah.
you know, you have a story, you have to develop the story,
Yeah.
and there's all these pieces to develop a story, and so yeah, you know, your protagonist, you're gonna take. I mean, you
It's
just got
there.
you got a whole story. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got to have all the pieces to the story, or the story won't work.
Right,
Right.
totally. And then
So-
so you take that footage that you got out there over 5 days, and you take it back to the office, and you string it out, and you make a rough assembly of the show in 5 acts.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay.
where you get the writer credit from.
Okay,
gotcha.
yeah.
That's what
Okay.
the writer-
Well,
Okay.
no, you well deserved writer
no,
credit,
that's
I
great.
believe. You know, like really.
No,
Yeah.
that's a fun
now
job
that you
then.
explain
Yeah.
it.
I had a blast, man. I did.
Yeah.
I field produced. I was in the field as a supervising producer or field producer on like 52.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you're on set basically, and then you go and you can do
Yeah.
the post stuff too.
I'm
Yeah.
dying to
That's
ask
dope.
you
I wrote-
one
yeah.
question.
I wrote about 40
I'm-
something.
Wow.
One
That's
question.
great.
Dying to
Yeah.
ask
Oh
you.
shit, go.
I'm dying.
What is it?
Because literally watching the show, and I watch the show all the time because it's fun. But the object of me watching it is to see if I can not gag. So I want to know, how many times did you gag?
almost maybe twice.
Really? Twice only?
Yeah, I think
Oh my
and one
God.
time was only because this is the story that everybody always tells about me. But like there was Shannon the poop hoarder up there at Bothell. It was the local one.
Fucking poop hoarders.
Yeah, she was like,
Can't do
God,
it.
that one was crazy.
So bad.
That one was like the first thing I remember from that one was like when I did the interview. They put me inside the house, and then there's a sliding door,
They did not.
and the camera guy and the sound guy were outside the house, and they just had the camera sticking in through the little crack in the sliding door, and I was in there. And the
That was one of those, oh, Matt will do it.
Get Matt's ass in
The
there.
ammonia levels were so high that I got like so dizzy, doing this
dude.
interview. Like I don't even remember the interview. I would just check. I would read the question from the clipboard and then check it off, and I would just kind of listen to her, and I got out of there. I was just just dizzy and staggering around.
So bad.
I don't even remember that one.
So
How did-
fucking awful.
and you wonder how people live in this, like,
No, it's like-
in this condition for
Right?
years.
Yeah, there was her it's generational.
Yeah.
She had her mom. That one's
So
hard.
brutal. And that's the one thing when I watch the show with Sam all the time. I'm like, imagine what it smells like in there. I've said it so many times when we watch that
then
show.
like the
Fuck
thing that I was notorious for is
Thank God it's not a scratch and sniff show. You know, that would be Jesus Christ.
that one was like full Tyvek suit, gas mask, full face gas mask.
Wow.
For sure.
And when we first started it, after we did the initial interview, and then Shannon was doing something. I think she was taking out her poop bucket, and so we were like, "We gotta get in there and get that." So we goes running in, and we all throw on our masks really quick. We go running in. And I'm like, we shoot the whole scene. She takes it out. She dumps it on the ground.
Oh my
right out in
Lord.
front of the house. It was unbelievable.
I've never watched that episode. I don't want to see that episode. The poop episode. Have you seen that one, Sam? Do you remember that?
I don't
Fuck, we gotta
remember
watch it now.
if
God damn it.
I know, now we're gonna have to watch it.
Damn it.
Anyway, so she takes it out.
But
dumps
so she
it.
throws it out, and then I was like, "Man, these masks aren't working." And the camera guy, Curtis Marlowe, I think Curtis was like, "It's because you didn't put the filters in." So I had no filters. It was just straight up air going right into it.
No.
Yeah, that was
Right into your suit. Just
taking it in.
That was brutal.
Matt
that was a
taking
gagger.
it in.
That was a gagger, huh?
Dude.
Yeah, that one was bad. I think that was probably the one gag, maybe.
Ooh.
But even still.
One of the two.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a weak stomach. I really do not. And so that's the one show that's ever really got me at times to be right on that verge. Like I haven't actually gagged, but I've been so close. And I'm like, this show is great to get me to do that because I have a super strong stomach. I don't gag about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do I, Aaron?
No, you don't.
No,
You
I
don't know
don't.
how you to get away with that
But,
because I'd
yeah.
fucking throw up in a heartbeat.
Oh, I heard.
Yeah.
No.
Can't do it. No.
I'm telling it. I'm
Tell
telling
it.
it.
Tell the story. It's fine.
I'm telling it.
No, this is real
One
shit.
time we
real
forgot.
Shit.
Okay, so I made like a. What did I make? I made it was white chicken chili. It was
chicken
white
chili
chicken chili in like the crock
pressure
pot,
cooker.
right? Or
Pressure cooker, yeah.
I made it in the pressure cooker.
Yeah,
That's why
she
you couldn't-
fucking did.
we literally ate that night. We put the lid on. We
And it was
forgot
great.
about it.
No,
Am I responsible because I made it? Because that's not fair.
Yes.
I think we're both responsible. So
Okay,
we
fine.
forgot about it. And next thing you know, like Aaron finds it, and
Bro.
and he's in. All I hear is him in the alley just gagging and gagging and gagging and gagging and gagging.
It was so
and I was
bad.
like, "What is your freaking
No,
problem?"
dude, let me explain what happened.
I never heard him gag
No.
before.
Everybody's complaining because there's this weird odor in our kitchen, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe something died in the goddamn wall, just like in the movie. We gotta rip open the wall. I don't fucking know. And I kept looking around in the kitchen. I'm like, nothing. It's the garbage can. It's not the fucking garbage can. I know it was. I'm sticking my head in the garbage, sniffing. I'm like, it's not the garbage can. No, just a subtle odor. Then I don't know how many days went by, but I finally was sitting there going, and I looked over because I was doing dishes, and I looked over at the pressure cooker, and I saw it was just kind of off the lid. Bro, I lift that lid out, and you can't imagine the swarm of fucking flies that came out of there in our kitchen. I
my
was just
God.
like, it was a fucking nightmare. I was just like, ding, 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 like a fucking psycho movie. It was so bad. So bad. I was screaming because of the flies. And then I go over there, and I'm like, put the lid back on. I'm like, fuck, and there's flies everywhere. I go and lift the lid off and look in there, and I should have never done that.
That was his first mistake.
And then I started gagging right then, and I had to get it out of the house. So, Matt, as a man, I did this shit. I fucking got it out of there.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Dude.
Heroic.
Yeah, I was
All I
heroic as
hear-
fuck in the alley, and it was like summertime, so it was hot out there, and the garbage cans, they had flies everywhere. It was just like Maggotville.
It was
Fuck
bad.
that. I forgot about that. It was so bad.
I'll never forget it because
Yeah.
I just hear him gagging and
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is your freaking
Yeah.
problem?
And that's why I never used the pressure cooker. I can't stand that thing. For this day, I hate it.
Yeah.
I will not touch
mean,
that thing.
I-
I won't touch it. I'm
Traumatized.
traumatized by it. Yeah, it's PTSD all day long for pressure cooker PSD.
You know, the other one has a clear lid. The pressure cooker is all hidden, so you don't.
Yeah,
you
yeah, it's
can
in there.
easily forget about that if you
Yeah.
put the lid on and you can't see shit. So
That was our hoarding moment.
That
She
was
was
our
hoarding.
hoarding
She
moment.
loved her chicken chili and didn't want to get rid of it, dude.
I'm surprised we could even eat white chicken chili after that.
Yeah, especially my black ass. That was so bad. Jesus. Forgot about that.
Oh God, yeah. So that was our relation to Hoarders. Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
So how many, you said, how many seasons of that show did you do?
Seasons, I think about 8 or 9.
Damn, that's a lot, dude. That's a
That's a lot.
ton.
By the end, they
Fuck.
started going to 2-hour episodes, so there was
Yeah.
less of them to do.
Wow.
And so,
That's a hell of a job, though.
yeah, it was a
Right?
good gig. And
Yeah.
it led to
Yeah.
a bunch of other work. I worked on my 600-pound life.
You
I
did?
worked on, yeah,
Okay.
I did a season of that. Did Mountain Men. I did.
Fuck.
Probably, and then I moved down to LA in 2019. I've done like 9 true crime shows since then.
Oh, that Sam loves you for that. That's her
Well,
shows,
that's
bro.
where, yeah.
That's ID channel all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm
dude.
the
Wow.
ID channel
Twisted
queen.
Sisters, Twisted
yeah.
Love.
Oh,
Yep.
God. See?
I did
Twisted.
those to it. Yeah.
Yes.
Sisters Who Kill.
Yeah. Those are great.
Twisted Love. Romance Has Gone Wrong.
Love it, love it,
I
love
did
it all.
Fog of Murder. My Murder Story.
Oh, shit, man. You've done
Yeah.
a ton of
I told
reality
you,
TV,
he's got
dude.
Yeah.
a long,
That's fucking
long list
cool.
of stuff
And
he's-
you're in Tacoma.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you're
Well,
in,
no.
well, you're in California right now.
Yeah, well,
Or-
so like, yeah, we moved to LA in 2019 and sold our house in Tukwila. I lived in Tukwila for 19 years. And then, because Screaming Flea went out of business. And then, so then there was, you know, I was just doing work in like Austin, for a company in Austin,
Okay.
Montana. And then, and then I had to go down to LA for a gig that I got for 44 Blue, Investigation Discovery. Did a bunch of those. And then, but then when the pandemic hit, like, we were all working remote for like a year, and so we were like, well, we don't even have to be in North Hollywood.
Right.
And so I kept doing the same job remotely, but you know, for the companies in LA, for a couple different companies down there. But then we went to Aruba, Panama, and Peru,
Okay.
back up in Seattle. So now we've been nomads for like a year and 6 months.
Okay. All right.
So once they make us go back to the office, I'll have to go back.
You have to go back.
Yeah,
But you're still doing
But-
it.
So
You're,
far, so-
you're still
yeah.
working it. Good.
Not
That's
yet,
great,
so
man.
good for you.
Fuck, that's cool, dude.
Yeah.
Now I gotta start watching the credits on those shows just to see his name on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to. That's fucking dope.
No, that's cool. That's very, very, very cool lineup of
Yeah.
stuff that you've worked on and skills that you have. It's
Well,
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you started as a filmmaker and you found a way to utilize the skills that you learned
Yeah.
from that
Yeah.
and made a living out of it now.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm
That's
a hell of
super
an editor.
creative.
Where's all the people? Where's my clients?
Well, you know, that's why
Damn
school can sometimes be a pivotal thing.
A schooling? I don't need schooling to do
But
this.
I mean, schooling helps you get to certain places.
I don't know why. I don't
It
understand.
does.
Why?
It does.
Because of the resume? Look
Well,
at the
because
movies I
you
cut.
meet the people that are there and that you meet.
Damn it.
I know.
Well, no.
Sucks to be you.
Is that how you got on your show, though? Was it a school thing, or was it more or
No,
less
I
that you
just,
hustled and figured it out?
Yeah, I just
started
got
from-
I just got super lucky on that first Hoarders gig.
But you.
See?
Parlayed the shit out of that one.
Yeah.
I just threw myself into learning that job. And, I mean, there is definitely an overlap of the skill set, but there's a whole bunch of other shit that's not
Yeah.
Yeah.
not an independent filmmaking.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
that you got to figure out and hustle
So,
and figure
yeah,
it out as you
totally.
go. Yeah.
So I still make a indie film every once in a while. Like if I have a gap in my schedule, I'll write something. And we made a film in 2019. We shot a virus movie actually in 2019, just before I went to LA.
Okay.
And then before we could even finish it, the real pandemic hit.
The real pandemic. hit,
And
yeah.
then we didn't have it done yet, and so everybody thinks we didn't make it until after the pandemic because it didn't get
Aaron?
played. You know?
Don't even talk to me. about it.
Aaron.
Bro.
You would think it'd be the best luck, and it was the worst.
That's how I felt. I wrote an entire screenplay from
This actually happened to him.
Yeah, 2018, I think I started. It was right after The Outrider. And I wrote Blackout.
Yeah.
Blackout is my sci-fi like epic movie, right?
Nice.
But it was about conspiracy.
Uh-huh.
It was about because people weren't getting their measles shots. Was it measles or something at the time?
something like that,
Somewhere
yeah.
in there, some parents
Measles
didn't
or
want their kids to get it, and I was
mumps
like,
or something, I don't know.
Yeah, and they didn't want to get the vaccines, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. And then I started hearing why, and I'm like, oh, these people think that government's putting shit in there. I was like, this will make a great movie. So I wrote this story about blackout, and you know, they use these nanomachines, and they're injecting people.
Nice.
Because of the something back. I tied it into something. I can't remember now. Something back in the 60s. But it was kind of like Manchurian Candidate in a way, where you're getting controlled. So, and then there was
plague or something that you tied it into. Something that happened back then that was
it was
like
in the
that.
60s, I believe, and the government jumped in. Anyway, long story short, I kind of tied it in. I was like so excited about this story. So super sci-fi. You know, I had like agents. It was like a Matrix-y kind of thing, and everybody was like on a grid, and they could read him. But this one guy, and he was kind of badass, you know, because he could go past this control that everybody's having on him. And I did this whole thing, and it was based off this virus and this conspiracy thing and these nanomachines with vaccines. Next thing I know, COVID hit.
And he's like, they're going to think I wrote this because of that.
COVID.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I've not touched that script since.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything with it because I felt exactly like you did. Because it's like, no, I was actually pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Well,
and it ruined my story. Fuckers.
It's probably not too late. I mean, you know,
maybe down the road.
there's always virus. You know, that's a really common kind of subgenre of virus movies. There's so many good ones.
Yeah, it was fun.
I love those though. I love them. When someone can create something that's so creative that is different from all the rest of them, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, they're always watching you. Everybody knows where you're at, what you're doing, and if they want to take control of you, they click a button. And
that's awesome.
You're just like this drone.
That sounds great.
It was like John Carpenter kind of feel. It was badass. I fucking loved it. I had so much fun writing that.
Honestly, if you think about people's fears and you play off of those, there's a million stories. Like, there's a billion stories that you could write off of that stuff.
Shit, yeah. Especially now.
People are afraid of a lot of things.
Yeah, you could really fuck people up now. They'll probably believe my movie. They'll think it's a documentary.
Matter of fact, that's why Hoarders works, because that's like people's fear.
It's real shit.
Do people actually live like that? But they actually do. They actually do. And you know what? I grew up in a home that was semi like kind of Hoarders.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
You too?
So it's super easy for me to go in there and just be like, it was a big deal.
Wow.
Yeah. See, I could have done it too.
Yeah.
I could have too.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
you know, and that was the key to that whole show, is to go in there and kind of act like it's no big deal to the person who lives there, the people who live there, so they can talk to you.
Yeah.
If you want to be like, this place is a pigsty, that's what the doctor and those experts were for.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
us, we, the producers
they'll shut down.
Yeah.
And they'll get embarrassed and they'll totally shut down.
Totally.
But you know, it takes living in a place, you know, that is even remotely close to that to get that.
Yeah.
I think. So you had to, that actually helped you probably.
Yeah, totally. I mean, not our house. It wasn't like the show or anything.
No, like mine wasn't either, but it was like,
just a little messy.
It was it was not filthy, but it was cluttered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lots
Stacks
of stuff.
of newspapers from 1955. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Kids.
My mom would get mad at me if I threw away a McDonald's receipt from like 1980.
What the fuck's that
like,
about?
why?
Yeah, right.
It was kind of like that kind of thing. It wasn't filthy though. I can't relate to like the poop and the rats and stuff, but I can relate to the hoard.
Yeah.
Because I think our whole family is kind of like, we kind of hoard.
They're not as bad now, but when I met you, I could see why you thought that. And that was, what, 17 years ago? So were they worse before that, Sam?
Well, I mean, kind of.
Wow.
I mean, I mean, you see what it is what it is what it is.
Right.
They just kind of, our family just kind of collects stuff. I mean, we just do. And I got it on both sides because my dad collects stuff and my mom collects stuff, so.
Yeah, and you're pretty picky.
I fight it.
Yeah.
I fight it.
You do
for
all right.
real. Like, like
when we move, I'm always wondering, why do we have all this shit?
Oh, man.
Why am I moving? Like, I can move all my shit in one day.
But being an artist, though, I do have to say, because I paint and I do beads and I do all this stuff.
I get all that, yeah.
So I have this huge collection of like artistic things that I play with and I do art with, and so that kind of.
I love your rock
That's
collection.
my hard
great.
part. My rock collection.
My favorite one.
Aaron hates me for that because it's like a 2 tons worth of rocks that I make him move. Every time we move, he has to move it.
It's so fucking stupid.
I'm taking my rocks wherever I go. I don't care. That's my hoard right there.
So bad.
Rocks. The most worst hoard ever.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Except for aside from poop.
No,
like,
I'll take the poop
worst.
over that.
What? Really?
I'll flush that shit. Especially after the pressure cooker incident. I'm good now. No more gagging. Let's just go do it.
You don't,
Man.
But rocks don't make you gag.
No,
so
it's just
stop.
heavy. It's just soft.
It's heavy, but it's not gagging.
It's just heavy.
Just being mean.
No, I love
take
your
the
art.
poop
I
over
love
the
your art.
rocks.
I move it every time. God damn it.
I mean, he does though. He's
Every
a soldier about it. He does move it.
So I was gonna ask you, with that Hoarders stuff, like, what's it like to be on a show that's successful that way? You know, because I'm assuming that since it caught on and everybody's like, oh, what the fuck, have you seen Hoarders? And everybody's watching it, and it had such a long run.
Yeah.
What's that like as working on it? Like,
It's
what do
fun.
you
It's
get
good. I mean, that's one of the big differences between trying to make indie films where like nobody gets paid, or they get paid like $100 or like not much. Or, is the everybody who works on a show and they're all getting paid. I mean, everybody just does a better job.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Everything you can do so much more work. You can get so much more things
Yeah.
done. Nobody fucks up. Nobody loses shit. Nobody like leaves their shit back at the fucking whatever. you
Right,
know?
Yeah.
right.
You don't have to drive. You just don't know. You know, you get the right addresses. You get the right. Everything's done right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they take you seriously.
Yeah.
And then I just
Yeah.
assume that if, you know, when someone's in charge of one of these production companies and they get a hit show or a film or whatever, you know, and the movie hits, but like with a show, it's like, oh shit, we can do more seasons now. We have an audience. People love this stuff. I just wonder if you see them change their attitude about you. Like if you're on season 1 and they're not sure and they're like, oh, I'll give it a shot. And then season 2 comes around and everybody's watching it. Do they go, hey guys, we knew you guys were going to be great?
That might be, yeah, maybe that's what the owners of the company and the showrunners deal with. But
Yeah.
that's above my pay grade. I'm more just the story guy.
So you don't have to
Fair
deal
enough,
with
fair
that.
enough.
Not
Okay.
too often. I mean, once I got into true crime, I started dealing with network notes more. So that was all like stringing out the story.
Yeah.
You know, making a structure of a kind of whoudunit, Agatha Christie style. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
you know, find the red herrings and make the structure of the show, and then you edit it, and then we start showing to the showrunner and the owner of the company and the different people at the company. Then you show it to the network, and at each stage you get rounds of notes.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then you go
yeah.
back and
So
re-edit
that's
everything.
mostly my job is to
Oh,
address
okay.
those
To
notes.
address the notes
Okay.
and
Okay.
fix
I wish this
the-
would happen. This should happen here.
Yeah.
Do they say anything
Okay.
like this? Why did they say this? What if you fucking changed it? Why, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got
Because
you
you-
basically
you're
have
Sharpen it. You need to sharpen it.
Yeah.
You need to sharpen
have a
this. You need to
string of
sharpen
people
that.
watch it and they're trying to clean it up. Or
Well, the
trying
way
to-
they want it.
They want to
what
make the
they
story
think will
more
work.
interesting. They just have a bunch of ideas.
Yeah.
They don't really. Oftentimes, they don't even really know what you totally have. They're just saying, "Do you have this?" And
Oh, okay.
I gotcha.
sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't.
Oh, okay.
Or like that didn't really happen, so we'd be changing the narrative of a true crime story.
Right.
Yeah.
Should we do that? Do you really want to do that?
Yeah.
No, we can't do that. But can we
Yeah.
do this?
So you're able to separate your own personal ego from a story that you've pieced together, you know, sitting in that editing room.
Yeah, you
and
just
then
gonna
you're
have
like,
to.
you send it up and you're
Yeah,
like,
it's not as bad as like say writing a screenplay and working on raising money for 5 years
'Cause
and
it's your own personal
shooting
thing.
it and then editing it and
Yeah.
then submitting. Then that really hurts when you get punched in the face.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
something you work on for a few weeks, it's not as bad.
And you're just like,
Yeah.
fuck
And you
it,
get paid
whatever.
anyway.
Yeah,
You're
you're
like,
like, fuck it, do
Worst
whatever
case,
you
you get
want.
paid.
Yeah. What do I know, you know?
all production's hard, and it's just a lot easier to kind of swallow
Yeah.
the difficulties when you're getting paid.
So I'm wondering from you.
That's
you
great
were-
though. It's
so
still,
you work-
you're still doing what you like to do though.
Kind of,
That's the
yeah.
thing.
You know, I don't have final say, and I have to do what they tell me.
Yeah.
So yeah, for loss of total creative control, I exchange that for money.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
change it.
But you're still in that craft. You're still
yeah,
doing
it's
that
still kind of
world.
satisfying and fun. You're putting together a puzzle, and the first couple weeks on every episode is you just working by yourself, stringing it out, making
That's
the
cool.
story.
Yeah, that's fun.
Do you feel like you sacrifice creatively in that way? Like
Maybe
you
a little
can't
bit.
be as you
Maybe a
can't
little
be
bit.
as much use your creativity as much as you have to like use someone else's or
Yeah, but also it's also more collaborative, and you work with a lot of smart people, and there's a lot of smart ideas coming back at you that when you're by yourself you don't get.
yeah.
And I think I would be fine with it all day long.
Yeah,
You
I
know
like
why?
it.
So, well,
Because
certain-
you're still creating.
Yeah.
You're still
Yeah.
creating stuff. It's not
I
like,
like-
me going to my day job and doing something I don't give a fuck about.
Like we were saying earlier
You know
too.
what I mean?
Like I'm happiest when I'm making something.
yeah.
Kind of doesn't matter what it is.
Well,
Right,
and
you know?
film is
Right.
a collaboration.
Yeah.
I mean, period.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's a TV show or whatever it is. It's a collaboration. You can't
Yeah.
do it by yourself. Period.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to collaborate. So I mean, it just depends on like what collaboration I guess that you're doing. I feel like like my fear is when you're working on something like you've worked on, like something that's on TV and people are watching. I guess my biggest fear is working with people that become assholes because they're somebody or think they're somebody.
yeah,
and so there's a lot of like ego.
There's
I guess,
definitely
involved.
ego.
Where on our level, there's really
A lot of
no
ego.
place for an ego. I mean, where's the ego
It's
going?
out there. It's still there though.
I mean,
But I've worked on
but-
like, you know, like
It's still there.
fucking $1,000 films, and there's egotistical people in those, you know, like
Exactly.
$50
There are.
free.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, there's ego
Yeah.
wherever you go. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yes,
you
I
know.
get that. But ego that you actually have to take is what
And so-
I guess. Because at
Gotcha.
this
I guess-
level, I'm like, I don't have to take your
I
shit.
get it. Yeah, they're
Get outta here.
they're giving him a paycheck,
Yeah.
so he's.
But
gotta-
when everyone's getting paid, everyone's more professional
Yeah.
too
Okay.
at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's not always as problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you get
yeah.
less of an ego? Do you in that kind of like environment?
I don't know. It really kind of all depends. Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it.
Well, you
but in
said
some ways
everyone gets
more-
kind of a more professional attitude, so.
Everybody wants to keep working.
Yeah.
And to
They
keep
wanna
working,
keep
you got to
their
get along
jobs.
with other
Well, there's
people.
one
Yeah.
goal, right? I mean, there's one goal for everyone. So I think that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people realize, I guess, at that level that, okay, we got something that's working, so let's keep it working kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Well, that's the funny thing. We were talking about that this morning when I brought it up, Sam. Like last night when we were filming, we're on I'll go back, a rewind to time.
Yeah.
You know, I respect everybody's time when we're on set. I don't keep people out there for 12 hours.
Well,
No, if they're not, if I'm not paying you, how long is the shoot going to be, Aaron? 3-4 hours. You
Yeah,
know, are you guys good with that? Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get you home. You know, that's my job.
Right.
If we can't get everything done that I had, you know, have on a shot list, okay, fuck it. We'll just do it another day. You know, I'm
Yeah.
fine. But this is a no budget indie film stuff. So,
Right.
but I think time is a big deal, right? So,
Yeah.
it's huge.
so last night I've got so many great collaboratives working with me. You know, I've got my producer Steve, and I've got Tyler with us, does everything. You know, and even the actors. I'm like, you guys think of something? Let me know. You know, I'm just here. I wrote something, but you know, this is our foundation. Let's make it better. And I always do that. I don't do rewrites. I never have. I usually here's your script, and then people are like, hey, if I change this, I'm like, great, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. They're rewriting it for me. That's how I do my revisions. Let the actors and the
yeah,
crew
that's
members
great.
help me. That's how I do it. And it kind of speeds up the process because, again, time.
Right.
But we're on set last night, and there's so many people. What if we do this? What if we do that? And all that. And I'm sitting there looking at the clock, and I'm like, yeah, we could do all that stuff. And I want to. I really want to. Because it would elevate the work. You know, the production value would go up even higher if we took some of these risks and chances, right? Problem is that we're
only
not,
have
we
so much
didn't
time.
set it up. We didn't pre-plan for this stuff. Now we're on set, and if we waste all the time for
Yeah,
everybody,
right.
so what can we do to sell what we're trying to do in this story in an efficient manner and still feel really proud of what we're doing in the 2 days that we're going to film this? Literally within 8 hours in 2 days.
Right.
What can we do? And that's where I have to come in and just be, nah, we can't do that. Let's just do it this way, and it's easier. Then I feel bad because I see people's faces kind of change where they have to. You know, I don't want to stifle others' creativity that are helping me make something, if that makes sense. I don't like to do that. I'm just trying to keep them in the box for what we're creating. If we had a budget and we're paying everybody and we had time to do the pre-production and then set all this in motion, that's something different. I would love to let these guys all fucking shine because they're great. They all have great ideas.
Right.
But when we're doing something as silly as a 13-minute short for
Only so much
YouTube, it's
time.
like,
Yeah.
but
You
let's
gotta bust it out.
stay in the
Yeah.
pocket.
Yeah.
Just stay in the pocket on these, and then when we get to the bigger films, and if we get some extra money, maybe we can do and implement some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I hope it never takes them out of that and make them think that I'm trying to, this is my project. That's not what I'm trying to do
Right.
No.
at
Well,
all. I'm
everyone-
thinking time.
Everyone knows that, Aaron.
I
You-
hope so.
I think so.
I
Because
hope
you
so.
implement whatever ideas of
I
anyone
try.
has.
I want them because I don't know what will work all the time. I don't. When I write a script, I'm like, I know, okay, most of this is kind of shitty. It's overwritten. It can be tightened up everywhere. That's why I give my scripts to Steve and I let him rewrite them.
Yeah.
And then he brings me something back because he puts this level of thought in there. I kickstarted him, and then he goes ahead and he tightens everything up really well, like dialogue. He adds things for character development that I didn't think of, and I'm like, great, because my first draft was bleh, it was garbage. It's a garbage vomit. It's a vomit draft. I just get it out.
Well, music
So
and
I'm
film
not tied
is
to it that deeply.
way.
Yeah,
That's kind of, it's a collaboration.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it's a collaboration. Like it doesn't, you can't alone do it.
But
And if you think about all the best things that are made in the world of music and film, they are collaborations. They
are.
They always are.
They are, but
the best ones are.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't have time and they have the money to do it, where we don't. And
Yeah.
and now I'm kind of like a showrunner for this season. I mean, that's what I'm kind of doing, and it sucks to have to tell people no.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, especially
Because
when
I don't
they're
want
being
to.
creative and using
Yes,
their...
and they have great ideas. We just can't do them.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just kind of what you gotta do. I mean, you
Right.
have to tighten it up because you can't make us all there forever.
No. I mean, we were out late already.
We're tired. That's why we're tired.
And we did basic stuff, but we
Yeah.
do the basic stuff very well. And I think the audience will be fine with it because we still have a story, but I get what you're saying.
I think that you
I'd
implement or allow people their own creativity so much that you shouldn't feel bad about that.
Sometimes
that
I don't
part
even
of it.
feel like I'm a director because they're doing it. I'm like, you like that, Aaron? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. That's how I feel. Sometimes, most of the time, that's what I'm doing. They just run it past me, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it.
But
Let's
yeah, we
go.
were out there.
That
We were
sounds
out
fun.
there a
Yeah.
long time last night. So, and
It
sometimes,
wasn't though.
yeah, it's-
I mean, we started
well,
filming at 10, and we got out of there by 1:30. That's
we-
quick.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was late, and it was a
But for
Wednesday
me-
because we're old.
It's like it's way past my bedtime, and
Yes, we just suck.
I'm tired.
Yeah, no one else was tired. Everybody was up way before we were texting about how much
tired.
fun they had this last night.
Plus, I'm not gonna lie, I smoked a little bit of weed, so I was like, really
I
tired.
knew
Like,
you did. I
immediately-
knew you did.
Okay, well, duh.
Hanging out with Michelle.
Michelle's a troublemaker, huh?
She's just the coolest person ever in the world.
So stupid. She's the best, dude. She's
I
great.
love her to death.
She's a hell of a makeup artist, dude. She's
Yeah.
fantastic.
No, she's
fantastic.
a great chick, but yeah, sometimes she
she's great.
passes the
Mhm,
J.
the torch.
She passes the J around to me anyway.
And you suck with that. Like,
I
you
am
can't do it.
terrible. I get one hit and I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
Well, they made that stuff too strong, man.
I know because
Don't you?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like
Almost
back
too
in
damn
our day,
strong.
you could smoke all day long. You're fine.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Not
done
anymore.
that. I never touched it.
Not
You know
anymore.
that? Except one time when your brother made me do it.
My brother didn't make you do.
Yeah, and I wanted hot dogs. Really bad.
with ketchup. And
With
you hate
ketchup. And I hate all that shit on my food. Don't drown your food, like Schoolhouse Rock.
You should get stoned more often, Aaron. 'Cause that was really funny.
No,
that was really
no.
funny.
I want to
He's
drown
like, ooh,
my
I
hot
want
dog.
ketchup.
So stupid.
I was like, you don't even like ketchup.
Mind control. That's like the fucking script I wrote, Blackout. There's something in the fucking weed. It's not good.
Oh, God. Funny stuff.
They get you hungry.
No, but Matt, what a great career you've had. And
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So you have something coming up, and I want to talk about that because we're gonna actually come to that. And we're
Yeah. So,
excited.
yeah, what is that about?
oh, sweet. Yeah. So that's the virus movie that we shot in 2019.
It is.
Okay.
Okay.
And so
Badass.
it got into so everything was all the festivals were remote by the time we finished it.
Okay.
And so
That sucks.
we got into like 5 little festivals.
Mhm.
And so this will be the first time we're playing it in front of a live audience.
Right.
And so it's an interactive film, so the audience will vote at like 4 spots and make choices, and we'll play
Okay.
the stem. Of
Choose your
that.
own story.
I've never
Yeah, it's choose your own
been.
adventure. Yeah,
I
Yes.
have
Yeah, it's like
never been to
Bandersnatch.
something like this, and
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
That's fun as fuck.
And I
excited.
got some live performances from the actors that are in the film. The
Sweet.
professional wrestler Merrick Brave, he's coming. He plays a character called Bunny Clown Dude. It's gonna be a rematch with the main character of
Oh,
That's
fucking
super
cool.
fun.
There's gonna be and
Yeah.
it's at Vermilion, which is in Capitol Hill.
Yeah, I know where
on
it's at.
11th between Pike and Pine.
Yep,
Yeah.
I know
And they
exactly
got
where
a
it's
bar,
at.
so we're gonna have a bar fight.
Dope.
So,
Dope, dude.
no,
That's fun
this
as
is.
shit.
pretty
I'm
fun.
super excited and looking.
When is
forward
that
to
again?
it.
When are we
September
doing-
August
2nd.
5th.
August 5th.
No, September 2nd, 5
okay.
5 to 7.
Oh, okay.
September
Got it.
2nd.
Got it. Okay.
September 2nd, 5 to
Oh, we're on.
7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're there.
Yeah.
You sure you got the
Yeah,
tickets?
there's
We're
like
there?
about
We're there?
21 spots left, so you should reserve the tickets on Eventbrite. I think I sent you the
Very
link.
soon, yeah.
Eventbrite.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you
called.
might have, yeah.
it's on Eventbrite, and it's called "The Things We Tell, the Ones We Love" live performance. And
Super fun. Yeah.
Dude, that's dope,
Interactive
man. That's
video.
gonna be
Get on
fun as
there.
hell. That's
yeah, it should be pretty fun.
It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have a live
Super
feed
excited.
of one of the actresses, the person who's infected with this virus,
Okay.
called the 8F1 virus, which attacks the prefrontal cortex
okay.
of
The
the brain,
frontal
which-
lobe.
Yeah, the frontal lobe, which like so they lose control of their executive functions for like a short while, like 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
So everyone just tries to write it out with them, like tie them up or like hold them down or just kind of sequester them until the
cool.
virus goes into remission.
No joke.
But so she's running down the street. She'll be running down the street. And we're gonna get a camera out there and have a live feed of what's going on out there in Capitol Hill.
That's fucking creative as shit.
She'll
That's
come in.
fun.
That she'll come in
And come into the fucking
interrupt
theater.
them. Yeah,
I love the interactive thing. It's so cool.
That's fun
so
as hell,
fun.
dude. That's a show, man.
Yeah. That's how I always thought of it. I always was thought of doing live performance mixed
So
with
cool.
interactive things.
It's badass. I
I'm
love
finally
it.
gonna do it here.
Yeah.
What's the seating in that
3 years
place?
later.
How many people?
45.
Okay,
So
that's not bad on
it's
it.
small,
No, but that's
Yeah,
still
it's
not
so
bad.
small,
That's still
but
not
you know
bad.
what? What a cool show. And if you're
It's an
lucky
art
enough
gallery
to-
too, so it's a perfect place for a performance.
Oh,
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
absolutely,
Yeah.
So
Fucking cool, man.
yeah.
Okay.
So
All
come
right.
check it out.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. What's
We'll
the?
be there for sure,
yeah, I
yeah.
want to go out Seattle. It's a date, Sam. I'll take you on a date. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Okay.
going on a date.
Yeah, we're going on a date.
Oh.
Yeah. Perfect.
And it's a
thank
feature.
you,
It's
because we never get to
Yeah.
go on.
bullshit. A couple weeks ago we did.
Yeah.
Is it a feature film?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's it depends on the choices that the audience makes.
Okay, got
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So,
got
but
it.
it's about an hour.
So-
Yeah. It's
Okay,
about an hour of
perfect,
film.
But
and
how long it
20
is
minutes
depends on
performance.
everyone's like
Choice.
votes
Yeah.
and choices.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
dope.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's fun. That's almost like a Black Mirror.
Yeah,
Culture.
I fucking
Yeah.
love Black Mirror. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly
That's
like
what
that
I
one
was-
they did.
Yeah, it's like so that election happened in 2016,
Mhm.
and I was wanting to make a political satire, and then
Okay.
also we were watching all these Black Mirror episodes,
And
and
it got
then
you.
Bandersnatch too,
Okay.
and then I was like, which was
Okay,
their
yeah.
interactive thing.
Yeah.
So then I was
I
like,
gotcha. I'm with you.
Yeah.
so
I'm right
yeah,
with you, bro.
It seemed like it was
Super
kind
fun.
of more of a fun project, and like the first 2 features I made were more serious art films,
Okay.
publicly funded art films.
Yeah.
So they're a little more
Freedom.
So you had
sad.
some. Yeah, you could do.
This is more fun, I think.
Some fun.
Although there's some sad shit happens in this too, because
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
attacked by a virus like that.
Yeah.
But it's not all.
It's
Yeah.
not all
Peachy
good.
keen.
No. No.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
I think in last week's episode that's what we're talking about. Like, don't forget to have fun when you're making your movies. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even on there's it's okay. It's okay to have
That's
fun.
definitely something that I coming out of that second film, and then going working in TV for a while, and then coming back and making another one. I was like, I'm gonna make this third feature, and I'm gonna make the whole time. No matter what happens, we're gonna work in the positive. I'm not gonna critique anybody. I just once I got it cast, the actors just kind of took it and ran with it.
Beautiful.
And because I was just as an experiment, instead of like trying to help at all these different points, we just kind of went it really fast. We cross shot it. Aaron Castillo was the director of photography.
Okay, yeah.
He shot one camera and I shot the other, so we did it really fast. So I
Yeah.
directed and shot at the same time.
Yeah. That's what I did.
And the actors were just fucking awesome too. I put out a nationwide call on
Okay.
Backstage.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
And so it got like hundreds of submissions.
Wow.
Great.
And as opposed to like in the old days, we would have local casting calls. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to get these kids took one class at
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Auburn High School
Right.
and train them up, and that's just way too much work.
Yeah.
Hard.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, it was a nationwide casting call and
Awesome.
got a couple actors from New York, one from Davenport, Iowa,
Cool,
who's a
man.
professional wrestler.
Badass.
Awesome.
And yeah,
Did you do
one from
like
here,
a whole
That's
like?
dope.
Did they
Yeah.
come in?
one from Olympia, Francis.
Do
Hearn.
Very nice.
Do auditions?
Yeah, I haven't sent one tape in, and then I
tape, okay.
taped audition. I know which sucks for actors, but they were in New
the way it
York
is
and
now.
LA. They're
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
So I can't fly
everywhere.
around.
Yeah, I know.
That's the way it is.
Yep.
Yeah, so and just gave him one round then I gave him the script, gave one round of, kind of like a callback, and then pretty much found him pretty quickly. Kitty Mortland plays Sabrina, who's infected. Chris Ostrowski plays Billy, who's an aspiring MMA fighter,
Okay.
but his wife got this virus and it screws up his whole family.
Nice. I love
Francis
it. I love
Hearn
it.
plays his mother, and Peyton Edwards plays his sister. So it's basically an attack on a house.
Okay.
Dude, I can't
Once
wait.
to
That's
say-
fun,
yeah.
dude.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be so
You
much
sold me.
fun.
You sold me. I
All right,
love
cool.
it.
Definitely.
I
All
love
right,
it.
awesome.
Yeah. We'll go. We'll go.
Sweet.
Well, we're gonna go because we have tickets.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I promise you. Yeah, that's fucking fun.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
we're there for sure.
That's wild. Let me ask you one
Exciting.
question before we end the show. Where are we at? Yeah, we're at the hour mark. Like with auditions, I'm curious as you as a creative and showrunner and doing your own thing. Is it when you're watching an audition tape? Do you focus more on the actor and what they're doing as acting, or do you sense something? Because I always sense something.
Yeah,
Even
totally.
if their delivery isn't that great, I feel something weird. Like that's my guy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, because you can just change the words and improv some stuff, and they don't have to be perfectly natural or anything like that.
Yeah, isn't it weird if you
Yeah.
think about it? Like auditions, it's like this is just like a meet.
If they
and
do
greet.
something that excites you, it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's like they take something and make it real, even just for a moment. The whole thing doesn't have to be real, but just like a
Right.
part of it.
Right.
Well, yeah, because we've disagreed, Aaron, you and
Many
I,
times.
on actors and based on their submitted virtual.
Whatever they do, yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever they
yeah.
submit to
And
us.
you know, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so great, and Aaron's like, what? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't-
yeah, yeah.
I mean, we disagree many times on those virtual ones.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if we're in person, we always agree.
Which we haven't done since 2019.
We haven't done since 2019, but if you notice, when we were in person, we always agreed. But
Yes.
virtually,
Yeah, it's
we
tougher, right?
disagree.
Yeah, it's
It
tougher.
is definitely, and I don't know why. I've never figured that out, but we disagree virtually.
You
on
can't
them.
look them in the eye. You can't smell
It must
them.
be,
You
yeah,
can't
like,
feel
you
their
can't
energy.
interact.
It's hard.
Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard.
It is hard.
It is hard because yes, if you can interact with them, and let's say their audition is shit, but there's something about them that you connect with before and after the audition.
See, I don't see that stuff. That's why
I do.
Yeah,
I
well,
do, and I'm like, I want that person on
Yeah.
my set.
Yeah.
There's something about them, and if I have to make this for them, I will because I think they've got something.
Right.
Actually, Aaron,
I mean,
the way that you do it has been positive for us because then we've never run into problems with people as people. Like, you know
Correct.
how people are.
Yeah,
And
and
they
I
can
think that's the
sometimes
most
be
important.
a problem. And so he connects
Yeah, the
with
thing I look for is like
that
any
different.
kind of resistance. If
Yeah.
somebody's like they don't want to do it, it's never gonna get better. It's always
Right.
gonna get worse.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's any resistance?
Definitely,
just
definitely.
Cut your losses.
See, I don't see a lot of
Yeah.
resistance from people. I mean, usually if they're sending something into you, they
It'll
want
be a
to do
subtle
it, so
thing,
it's-
It'll
Yeah.
be subtle.
Yeah, subtle. I guess I just don't pick up on that.
It's weird we
Kind
can't
of
get in
stuff.
trouble for that because it's almost prejudicial a little bit because you're
Well,
basing
I
it off
mean,
of something
in a
they
way.
an
I know,
assumption
it's the
almost. Do you know what I
worst,
mean?
man.
It's weird.
I,
It's weird.
I really empathize with all actors. That's one of the
Yeah,
hardest
it's
gigs
hard.
ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
honestly.
They can be a great actor, but personally you don't like them, so you don't pick them for whatever reason, and that's fucked up, right?
It is kind of. I mean.
But it's
yeah.
important because if you don't,
It's the most important part of any movie, any show.
You
Yeah,
have to
it
have-
is.
The actors are the key.
yeah,
When
yeah.
it
Fuck
comes
up
to
a lot of
telling a
shit.
story,
Yeah.
only certain people can fill the part.
Well, cast and
So,
crew,
like,
I think it matters.
I mean, it matters
big
down
time.
to how you look. It matters, and that might be prejudicial in a way. But
Yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, you're trying to fill a certain character out, so that only certain people can fill that character.
Well, yeah, but it's also how the set dynamic will work. That's what I feel. I think it's most important to have a positive set.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
something weird is
'Cause
going
that'll
on,
affect the actors too.
absolutely. And if that
They'll be
happens,
like,
then
"Jesus."
everything goes to shit. I want people laughing and smiling and having a good time making a movie and
that-
feeling
I-
open and
I think-
creative, not like quiet and scared to open their. Fuck
Totally.
that.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
That's the other reason I like to have small crews too, because
Yeah.
you reduce the odds of having somebody who's kind of like
Yeah.
who ruins it, the bad
Yeah.
apple,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly.
Get a tight knit group of people.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
best friends. People like Aaron and I work together on, I don't know, 25 Hoards, or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we've been out there together in different situations.
Mhm.
We're gonna get along.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
You know
that.
him.
It's
you
not
know
That's
some
your
fucking
dude,
thing.
yeah.
They all of a sudden at 4 o'clock he's gonna have a shit show. Or
Right.
It's like he's not.
Yeah.
I know him.
You know him.
Yeah.
No,
So you don't
that
have to
matters.
worry. You don't have to worry, and less worry means more creativity.
Right.
Yeah, but that
I mean, you
matters.
it
Yeah.
does matter. It
To me, it
hugely
does.
matters.
Yeah, and I'm glad that's
Aaron, you're
I'm not the
always
only one.
very keen on that, and I credit you for that because I miss those kind of. I'm kind of like a.
Not really,
I'm an
though.
empath, so I love everyone, and I always can see the good in everyone.
Yeah.
So for me, I would miss those cues of people that would cause a problem, and Aaron gets it, and he'll immediately like.
Well, because
Get it. He gets it.
Well, that's why I'm an asshole.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I got
You
you
are an
got to be
asshole,
you got to
but-
be because it's just like I don't.
No, but it's a gift.
It's
It's
not
a
their
gift.
skill set that I'm talking about. It's just how they fit.
Well, and yeah, and it
do
matters.
they fit with the way we do things?
Yeah.
And if they don't, that's okay. It's not a big deal.
Right.
There's other crews, there's other movies, there's other everything.
But we get a lot of compliments on how our sets go and how our filming turns out. And I think I credit Aaron for that because he really picks up on the, like you said, bad apples, he picks up on that and he just kind of, I mean, and not to say anything bad about those people, but
No,
it just,
not at all.
if they don't fit the project, they don't fit the project.
Right,
And so,
right,
and
right.
that's a bad apple because for your personal project.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
right,
and Aaron
right.
picks up on that really good. And we always have the best sets and the best
They're
time on
fun.
set because
It's a
he
party.
picks the right people.
fucking
So
party.
picking
Yeah.
the people
Yeah.
is
That's
so
fantastic.
important. It's so important to pick the right people
Yeah, yeah.
to work with. It really is because you know who you can work with and who you can't. And then as
Yeah.
far as actors go, you know, Aaron having a skill like yours really helps it helps.
I don't even think of it as
helps.
a skill. When I think
Well,
skills, I think editing. That's just me.
telling you
just
right now, it's a
being-
skill.
I appreciate it. Thank you. But it's you know what I'm saying with that.
Yeah.
It's like so vital when you have like a bunch of good people encouraging everybody,
Oh man, yeah.
and that it just and they get each other's back, and it's
Right.
fucking
Yeah.
sweet. It's
Right.
just it gives you goosebumps, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, there we go. And here we are in a parking lot filming
Yeah.
something late at night in the middle of fucking South Tacoma.
And the cops
in the
show
hood,
up.
and the cops show up. The cops are like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm like, "We're making a movie, bro. This is a vampire fight." You know, and he's like, "Oh shit, that's fucking cool." And the cop is into it. You know, everybody was fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
That's how
That's
cool
great.
it was.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
no big deal, no permits, no nothing.
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah.
in the parking lot.
Yeah, it
shit.
can be the best time ever.
It can
If
be.
you get into that sense of flow where everyone's, collectively working towards this goal. I mean, it can be
Exactly.
the greatest experience ever.
Yeah,
that's-
so it's really important. The choosing of your crew is important.
Yep.
And I figured that out when I did. So I'm on my second documentary right now. We've been going back and forth to Republic, Washington, and I kind of.
Oh, what's it about?
It's about somebody's ranch that it's a home ranch that has been passed down to a daughter from a father, well, mother and father.
Cool.
Yeah, but
It's
yeah, I don't
Yellowstone.
know.
It's Yellowstone.
It's Yellowstone,
It's
yeah, but
fucking
Oh, is it really?
Yellowstone.
it's a
Yellowstone.
female that is running it,
And
so
she's
it's
a
very
badass.
empowering
Nice.
and very just. It's a really cool story. I can't wait to share it.
Yeah,
All right,
I don't know
It's
how
amazing.
better to describe it than that.
It's amazing.
But the crew that I selected the crew, and I'm so proud of the crew that I
Right.
picked. But it just kind of taught me how important selecting a crew is, and I mean down to everyone. I mean anyone that I'm working with on this project, I'm so proud to work with, and I'm so happy, and it's such an uplifting experience working
Yeah.
with people that I picked
Yeah.
and that I know are can fill the
Yeah.
spots and
And
do
they're all
the
passionate
job.
about
We always said on Hoarders
Yeah.
that one of the most important positions was the production assistant.
On it,
And
yeah.
because they had to run to the store and get shit. And if they didn't get back in time, we were behind.
Yeah, right?
Like that shopper was the most
Right.
important person.
Yeah.
In some
Yeah.
ways. In some
Yeah.
No,
instances.
everybody's important. Yeah.
And it's so
Totally.
weird. And
Picking
that's
those
funny
is-
you said that because last night, even like with our lighting, and only reason I'm bringing up last night because it's fresh.
Yeah.
But this happens all the time, where I'm like the batteries are dead in the fucking light.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then I had 3 people last night going, "Here, let me go grab them for you, Aaron." And I'm like, thanks, bro. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just little stupid shit that you kind of can look over if you're so in tune and focused on what you're doing. Last night, it just made me relax. Like everybody was such functioning.
Well, and that's why the crew is so vital.
Yeah.
Because if you pick the right crew, it flows like
Yeah.
a river.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it just flows and
Yeah.
it goes, and you're good.
Yeah, it's smooth
But
sailing
yeah, exactly.
all day long. It matters.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I got
And
one
I-
other project I'm working on.
What are you working on? Tell
It's
me.
Yes.
it's a 30 years later project. So when we
Oh,
graduated
nice.
from college, we interviewed like 8 of our friends, and so I went back around over the past few years and kind of find out what
Interviewed
happened
them
with their
again?
lives. Yeah,
Oh, dude,
30
that's
years
dope.
later.
Cool.
Kind of like a Gen X 7-Up, you know,
That
like
is
7-Up series, the 30
badass.
series.
Yeah.
That is
So
cool.
I've been working on that for a while now. It's a
So
much
awesome.
harder thing to pull off.
Yeah.
Because like, how do you sum up somebody's life in about 20 minutes?
In 20.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm working on that too. So.
But
Well, that's
gosh, that's
cool.
something you had to have been thinking of back in the day to get those first ones.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
cool.
we
Wow.
rented we had to rent a VHS
Fancy.
camera from the public access in Iowa City when we went to school.
Dude,
So
I would have went to Rent a
cool.
Center. That's where I got mine.
I did.
I did actually. I did.
That
No
is
joke.
so cool.
Yeah. One
You've
one
been
guy's already
holding on to
dead.
that this whole time.
Oh,
Oh, really?
fuck.
One's dead. One didn't
Damn.
want to participate, but
Oh,
I got
wow.
5. I got 5.
You got 5.
Wow,
That's
wow.
solid. That's solid. That's great.
You
dude.
know what? But even
Wow.
those stories of someone
I
that
know.
didn't make it
Amazing.
and someone that doesn't want to participate those are even like
Yeah.
I mean they matter.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. That's so cool that
Yeah.
you did that.
Yeah.
I always wish I would think of stuff like that.
That's good. It's creative. It's creative as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's cool.
So I'm excited about that too.
Yeah.
That sounds fun, man.
That's-
That's
it
good.
does.
So do you feel like you're being pulled more narratively, or is it more like reality stuff now? Or are you kind of in the manner?
As the older I get, the more I like documentary style
Okay.
stuff. I don't know why.
I love
But
the
every once in a while, you know.
documentary,
Yeah, everybody's got their
narrative.
thing.
I do
That's good.
I've always done both.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Cool.
yeah.
All right.
Cool. Very cool. Well,
Yeah, that's dope.
that's a wide range of creativity that you have.
Yeah.
But fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
I had
That's
to learn
a
the
fulfilling
reality.
life.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
when I was cutting Sam's documentary, the GPO one, I was like struggling
struggled.
forever in the
He
beginning.
struggled
Yeah,
real
editing's
bad.
hard. Editing's hard. You know?
I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
always
I don't
hard.
know. I don't even know if we have a story. Dude.
I know, yeah, it's not his thing, so he didn't get it, and I had this whole layout.
Yeah.
I had it all figured
It was
out, and
hard.
I knew exactly where I was going with it. I mean, because I'm a documentary person, I watch them, I love them.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at, so I had it all figured out, and I was like, there's a story there, just do it. And
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
Took him a little bit, but
yeah, 15, 20 minutes into the edit, which took me forever to get to that point,
because he didn't
I
see it.
finally saw it, and I was so excited. I'm like,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
And within, like, I don't know, a week or two, I was
Yeah.
done with the entire thing.
Yeah.
After that. Yeah, I
Once
was like
you got
15, 20
started.
minutes in, and then the hour and 20 was done within a couple weeks.
I'll
Once
never
I finally
forget
got
you
it, took
coming
me
to me.
forever.
I figured
Nice.
it out. I got the story. I figured it
Yeah,
out. I
finally.
see it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's so
so
hard.
excited.
I'm like, where's the fucking script, bro?
Yeah.
But there's not one. Yeah.
just a little outline Sam wrote me.
There's just a
Man.
little outline. I mean, that's what all you can really do with a documentary because documentaries really kind of tell themselves. They, as far as I'm concerned, and if you're not open to that, you can't really make a good
You gotta be
documentary.
flexible.
If you have an actual, like, you know, you can't have a script or an actual story because you don't know the story until it tells itself.
Yeah. Pretty much what I do
Yeah.
on everything I string out is I watch all the footage and I make a selects and I kind of sift it down.
Oh, okay.
And
You
so
watch the footage
yeah,
first.
I watch all the footage.
See?
I don't read any
Okay.
transcripts. I watch
Okay.
footage, I make selects, and then I go back around and I organize the selects
Okay.
while whittling them down.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of
Oh.
compress it until it's somewhat, and then I cut it to time.
I get it.
Wow.
Perfect. Okay. See,
Gosh,
sifting.
okay.
That's
I'm
perfect.
so willy-nilly.
But yeah, the footage is telling me where to go.
Yeah.
You listen to a bite and you go, that's an act out.
See,
Yeah.
so in the moment,
That's
So-
compelling. That's,
You take one of the 12-minute interviews you got from one of the people coming in. You go
I
down
take
there
it in
and
the
you,
moment though, and I figure it out then.
Yeah, I think you should
rather
do
than-
exactly that. I think if you do that as detail-oriented as you are and you follow his advice there,
No,
I
I'm
think
gonna try that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
efficient as fuck.
is
That's a great
good,
idea.
That's a good like.
anything you think
and
that
it'll
the
help
first
me
pass,
in the edit, bro.
Yeah. That first pass, you just anything you think could work, just be include a lot, and then I just make little like headers like okay now they're talking about this topic, this topic, this topic.
Yes.
Then you can organize those topics on paper maybe if you want to, although sometimes you just move them around.
Beautiful advice.
Then because what you're after is causation.
Yeah.
The one thing has to cause.
Yep.
It
has to cause that,
In
that
storytelling,
causes that.
in the story producing, they call it does it track?
Yeah.
And the network executives say this doesn't track, that doesn't track. I'm lost. It doesn't track.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're really talking about is causation.
Yeah.
Like, does this event cause this event? And there can be shifts, but it has to basically
Makes sense.
make sense and track chronologically. Usually, if you do go back in time, that's a whole other thing you can talk about for a bit. But but you still, even for sections, you want to go through them chronologically. And then if there's a turning point, okay, we need to go back and learn what happened to this other person.
Right.
Right.
You can do that. But yeah.
It's got to flow.
Wow.
gotta flow.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting way
Beautiful.
to.
It's easier said than
it's
done.
good.
It sounds
Yeah,
simple.
It is.
You know, it is. It's hard
Yeah.
because there's a lot of footage.
Because a lot of people
and
think
there's
things
stuff.
track, and then other people are like, nah, that doesn't track.
Right,
You know,
right.
You think it does.
Different opinions, yeah,
Right.
definitely, definitely. Well, it's documentary filmmaking is interesting. It's not. I wouldn't say that it was easy work, but it's definitely you have to. It's more interesting than writing a story because you have to find a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you really have to pay attention to everything that's going on in every detail so that you do find a story, because if you don't, you don't have a movie.
Yeah. And then that all starts in the interviewing.
Yeah.
Like you got to kind of have a general sense of where your story's going to be, where you're
Right.
talking to these people, because you got to get them to say some things.
Yeah.
You got to get
Yeah.
those act out bites. You got to get things that propel the story forward. You got to get them to expand, because what happens in these interviews, this is getting pretty technical here, but like what usually happens is people want to tell the end of the story in great detail, but no one wants to talk about the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
And so
that
the
yeah.
producer needs to go back and be like, so in 1992 when this started, what were you doing? It's 1992. What's happening now? Then what
Yeah.
did you do? Then and you have to pull that out.
It's
Yeah.
you feel like you got a
'Cause,
fishing
like-
pole and you're like reeling them in,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like you're pulling
Yeah.
it out of them because
Right.
yeah. No, I feel that. Definitely feel that.
That's a
every
good
true
I
crime,
don't- I've never
all the footage we
followed-
got on every true crime episode has like 5 times as much stuff for Act 5 and nowhere near enough stuff for 1, 2, 3,
to get the
4.
beginnings.
Right.
It's just
We need
every
to
time.
start the
That's
story,
how it goes.
motherfuckers.
Right.
Every
Right.
time. It's incredible.
But
one
you know,
wants the
your
boring
memory
part.
kind of fades as time goes on, and so
Yeah, the
you
memory
have a hard
fades.
time. You know, recreating something that happened, you know,
Yeah.
25 years ago is a lot different than recreating something that happened yesterday.
Yeah, they
So
remember the
it's
day
hard, yeah.
everything went to shit and they got
Yeah.
the murder happened, right? They don't
Yeah.
remember like anything else.
Right.
leading up to
The
that.
months and weeks
Right.
and fucking years.
The cops just talk about when they busted them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
not going to talk about the case.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's
We thought
where
it was
I
other people,
find-
but it wasn't. It was him. It's this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Let's talk all about this motherfucker.
yeah.
It's interesting.
It is
It's cool,
interesting,
though.
and
It's cool.
it's kind of fun to put together those stories. That
Yeah,
and
I love it,
find
man.
the story.
Super
and,
fun.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
I
for-
love documentary filmmaking myself, and that's why I was super excited to talk to you because
Yeah.
I know you.
The
you
one
get
I
it.
just finished is called Violent Minds, Killers on Tape. It's really good. It's like
okay.
it's about the psychiatrist. He was a prison psychiatrist in the 1970s, and his first case, one of his early first cases, was Ted Bundy, and then he started recording all these serial killers and tried to figure out why they killed.
Yeah.
And so it's a series that's about I think 7 different serial killers. Ted Bundy. I worked on
That's
Ted
dope.
Bundy 1, Ted Bundy 2. Then it's Bishop. Then there's Reggie Dinsmore. I worked on that.
Okay.
I was a supervising story producer on 4 episodes. Bundy, Reggie Dinsmore, and
Reggie's kind of local, isn't he? Or no?
he's from it was in Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Different.
He killed-
I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah, he killed a girl, buried her in an apartment, and then he killed another girl and buried her in put some shit over in an abandoned house, but then she lived and crawled out of there and was like found the
Oh,
cops
that's
and was
crazy.
like, fucking
Oh.
Reggie did it.
Wow.
Oh
that's how you
shit.
get that.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, I gotta
He
watch
claimed
this
to have
shit.
multiple personality disorder.
That's
What
cool.
was-
No, one of
And
our
then
favorite ones
Manuel
was
Cortez was the last one.
who?
He was,
Cortez?
that was
What?
down in Oregon. Manuel Cortez.
Manuel Cortez.
Oh, Manuel
Yeah.
Cortez. Yeah, I know who that
Okay.
is.
Yeah, I think I know
That's
that
a
name
horrifying story.
Yeah. Awful.
But so it's pretty interesting just because the psychiatrist tries to get at half the show is like why these guys did it.
Yeah.
And
Which
it's the
is
real tapes.
crazy
Yeah.
interesting to
Yeah,
me.
that's
I
good.
love that. And that's why we loved Aaron. We loved the one where
My
where
guy.
he
talked about
he-
rating the killers.
He rated the killers that
love
one.
that
We
show.
loved that one.
Yeah,
It
I
was like-
can't
and
remember
they-
what it was
yeah.
called. It was like rate a serial killer, some shit.
Shit, I don't
But I'm
know.
gonna put him at a 9 on the serial killer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope.
I
Yeah, and you
know
hear
if
the whole
I've seen that
story, and
one,
it's like
but-
because we'd be guessing, we'd be like, dude, that nigga
know.
should be at a number 2. He's
That's a
fucking
number-
up there. And then you give him a 12. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's worse than that guy?
I know.
You know what I mean?
But they had
It
these.
was so good.
He
It was
had these
fun.
like certain like thing, and I think he was like a. Wasn't that guy? Like
He was a profiler, I believe.
He was a profiler,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
he had all these different like things that he rated them on.
Yes.
And then he would rate them on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yes.
Or something like
Something
that.
like that.
No, it was more than 1 to 10 because there was sometimes
Yeah,
like
I can't
a level
remember. what the
35
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly. But
Anyway,
it was fun.
he
It was
numbered
fun.
everyone, all the serial killers, and it was fun to watch and try
Yeah.
to guess like, ooh, this guy is like definitely
He's top
1 through
tier.
10.
Yeah, he's up there high. And then somebody you don't
love that
even
shit.
know, like
Right.
Ted Bundy was like lower than this
I
one
know, and
Mexican
we're
dude
Like, what the literal?
who had the torture chamber in like a fucking RV.
I know,
Oh,
but
boy.
when
And
you
what he was
listen to
doing,
the
and I'm
story,
like,
you're like, oh.
No one's ever said anything about this guy, and that guy was fucking awful. And he was like,
Awful.
he's number 3 on my scale. I'm like, Jesus. It was so brutal, dude. I loved
No,
it.
it was fun,
They
though.
were scary. They
Yeah.
were good.
Well, and
I
we
can't
learned
remember the
about
name
a
of that
lot
show.
of like killers that we never even
Haven't heard of. Yeah.
But
Because
they
didn't
were
kill
so
enough.
creepy.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
killed like 4 or 5 people. Like, that ain't enough.
But it was the creepier killing than someone who killed like
Right?
90 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just horrible.
Exactly.
like
Like-
what he put them
Yeah,
through.
like Green River Killer, you're like, okay, yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. But they weren't as brutal as like some of these fucks that just
Well, when you think about
keep them
killers,
alive for like 3 weeks in a
Yeah.
fucking thing, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like that's a way. I don't know,
Brutal.
something about that.
You're just savoring like the.
Yeah, fucking
My
sick fucks,
lord.
man.
Anyway, it was interesting to go into like how deep do you get with killers because of that certain things, you know?
Yeah.
Like there was some who like brutalized their people that they killed, and they were so much worse than
It
like
seemed
your
like it,
serial killer who you think is the worst person in the world.
Right. Well, they're
And
all
then
pretty
you-
bad,
yeah.
though.
Well, they're all bad, but I mean, you think about some of the stuff that people do to people when you're like, okay.
I know.
That was probably one of the
horrible.
hardest shows ever because you're just sitting there listening. There were 650 hours of audio tapes that guy had talking directly to
Him
these
talking
killers.
or-
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So the doctor interviewing,
Yeah,
hours
crazy.
and hours, like 30 hours talking
Brutal.
to Ted Bundy or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just listening to
Getting
this
really
fucking
deep
creep
into
talk.
there.
Yeah, it's really disturbing shit.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy
that's-
talking about like when all the hitchhikers came out in California, it was like a smorgasbord out there. It's just like nasty shit.
What
That's what we thought of it. It was like
fuck?
so sick.
Bro.
Yeah, it is.
It is like hundreds of things like that.
And then you're at the salad bar, just like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're just like, fuck.
There's something about it though, and I'm not the only one who's obsessed with true crime. I'm not. I know I'm not.
Women love that shit.
Well, I don't know if it's just women though.
Women love
Men
true
love
crime.
it too
Not
because
as much
true
as women
crime
do.
is crazy.
No, we like it. It's just not as our go-to. You guys go to that stuff. You're morbid.
I go to sleep to that.
I
shit,
know you
but-
do. I sleep with you. I know. It's brutal. It's brutal. Every night, I always make jokes about it. I'll wake up in the middle of the night to get some water or go pee, and next thing I know, I hear, and they used her head for fellatio. I'm like, Jesus Christ! It's 2:30 in the morning,
And I'm just like, oh.
and she's snoring away, just peacefully asleep. Like,
Wow.
what the fuck?
Okay, well, I blame my mom for that because she always went to sleep to that shit.
Uh-huh,
It was
yeah.
like, it was Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, for you.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and you got me though. You got me with Forensic Files because I love the dude's voice in Forensic Files. He puts me to sleep, no problem. I don't give a fuck what
Yeah.
that motherfucker's saying. He's great. He's the best.
Yeah.
But then you start watching all these other shows, and I'm like, what was the one with the Wicked Attraction?
Wicked Attraction.
Oh yeah.
Whatever these were, they're all the same, but they're all just brutal. I like the neighbor one. That's my favorite one.
Oh,
The funny
Fear
thing-
Thy Neighbor.
Fear of Thy Neighbors is shit. I love it when the neighbors
That's
trip.
terrifying.
It's the best.
The funny thing about a lot of these shows is that they are kind of like whitewashed a little bit. Like what really happened doesn't even make it into the show.
Really?
Because it's just so sick and disturbing.
I bet.
Yeah.
I
bet.
We will send it to the network, or somebody along the way will be like, "Hey, we've got to
Like,
take
that's
out the
too
fact that
bad?
they made her live with a pig. You know, that's got to come out."
Oh,
No
wow.
shit. So
Just-
they take stuff out if it's like too
Yeah, or
disturbing?
like there's like the classic example is like two girls. They were lovers. They stayed up all night, and in the morning, their grandmother came down and was like, one of you needs to get out of here. You shouldn't be together." And so they killed their grandmother. But what we took out was the fact that they were smoking crack all night.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like the story gets
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
dark.
deeper.
It's
It's
they're
deeper and
really
darker.
gnarly or
Yeah.
just get
Wow.
taken out because
And
Interesting.
somebody
to
tells us
think
to.
some
Wow.
of these
I would put
stories
it-
are so
Yeah,
bad.
I would put
that-
the crack in.
Yeah, I'd put it back in a heartbeat. That's
Honestly,
the
I'd
that's the
put
meat
it
of
in
the story
too.
right
Yeah,
there.
that's why they did it.
That's exactly why they did it.
Yeah, and honestly, like the
Wow.
truth is the truth.
It's
I mean,
upmarketed.
and it matters. Like that even makes it more. I don't know why they do that.
Because it's too down market. They'll be like, "That's too down market." Yeah,
Down
we
market,
got
what
to
does down
upmarket.
market mean?
All about poor people. You know,
Oh.
it needs to be. You may make it seem more like it's middle
Okay,
class.
but guess what?
So then it could happen to anybody who's
okay,
watching.
but the world runs by
I
poor
gotcha.
people. There's more of us than there are of
No
anybody
shit.
else.
I get it.
Like honestly, like come on now.
I get it. It's like, well, it's why cops got in trouble back in the day all the time.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Being up poor
profiling.
people.
It's
Yeah,
profiling.
profiling.
It's
Yeah, I get it.
profiling.
I get it.
And that's what they're trying to avoid or whatever. But
Right.
Unfortunately,
Honestly,
that's the reality.
it is the reality.
And also, it just might be like too much. You know, like
It is a lot.
there's some sad
Super sad.
stories.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be quite so sad if you take out the most horrific parts.
Yeah.
This core
still
of it's
dark.
still there.
Yeah.
It's still sad, but it's
Yeah.
not like, I don't know.
I
Yeah,
disagree with that. I think that the truth is the way to go, and that more truth that's out there. I think half the problems on this planet could be helped if people were just honest about what's
I know.
really going on.
Sure,
Yeah, it's
sure.
true.
You know, I really do
Absolutely.
believe that.
We
I
wouldn't
really
be
do.
divided.
Like, be real about it, and if you're honest and you're real about it, you know, that's when people listen. Because the truth is, it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brutal.
You know, to
and
be fair,
people
those
will
shows,
listen.
the truth is still in there. It's just like how
It's
not
kind of-
everything's in the show.
yeah.
You can't. Something's going to get cut in 42 or 43 and a half minutes. So
I think it all should be in there. I think the best,
it'll
like,
be
yeah.
2-hour docs. Or
Sounds like
3-hour
X Files to me. See, I start going narrative. The truth is out there.
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
no,
I did.
really. I mean, great point, Aaron, because honestly, you got your sci-fi and you got your real life, and they're really,
It's pretty much sci-fi now.
yeah,
on a
I mean,
day-to-day
it's
basis,
really
whatever.
quite similar in the way that
Wow.
it's intense and crazy,
Yeah.
and yet people are afraid to.
Yeah, people
Not
think they know
only
what's going
listen
on,
to it,
and
but
no one
tell
knows
it.
what's going on.
No one
That's
knows,
the
yeah,
fun part
whatever.
about.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what's exciting about life, and people think the world sucks, and I think it's great. I live
No,
for
it
the. I
actually
feel
sucks.
like
It
I
actually
love
sucks.
I love how crazy it can get. Like I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it was at work. And I was like super excited when like the pandemic started. I know it's weird, but I was.
I liked it too.
I did.
I was
I
commuting
liked-
like an hour and 10 minutes. I didn't have to go in anymore.
Yes, it was great, and I liked the chaos. And I was like, you know, there's something about like the system,
But it was scary.
falling, And can we change it? Can we make it better? Is it going to be better from now? Because, you know, we always bitch about the way things are, and no one ever does anything to change it.
Yeah.
Well, the pandemic pretty much changed things.
All those animals came out. Everyone's like had videos of like coyotes running around downtown.
Yeah, animals were happy. Shit was weird,
The
right?
air was clear.
Yes, it was. No one's driving.
No one's driving.
Yeah, and then
We're
everybody.
all worried about when everyone starts driving again. Are we gonna have an earthquake?
You know, it was kind of exciting, and I admit it, it was kind of exciting at the time. I remember sitting at work, and they were like, "Well, you're an essential worker. You still got to come." I'm like, "Motherfucker!" I was so mad that I had to go back to the bank and work at that fucking bank, and nobody was even coming in. It's like, we can't work from home from a bank? What's a drive-through still open? I'm like, oh, fuck you. You know, it was bad.
People's money, Aaron.
Oh, I hate
That matters. That's
But
the
I was
most
so
important thing to
excited
people.
for everybody else that got to stay home. I'm like, this is great. There's no traffic. You know,
Yeah,
it was
I know.
fun. It was
It
fun
changed.
to me.
It
It's
changed
weird.
things. It changed the
It
course
sucked.
of.
A million people died.
Yeah, I know. I
It
get
does,
that. And that's
yeah.
why I feel like an asshole for saying it. Because people
are
did
an
get
asshole
sick
for
and
saying
died.
it.
But for those that lived, it was kind of cool.
Asshole, Aaron.
It was
Oh
kinda
yeah,
fun.
that's why.
Man, I like it. I like chaos. I think it's fun. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
you do.
I
Well,
do.
whatever.
I do. I feel like a fucking Joker in Dark Knight. Yeah, it's just the chaos of it all. It's just like, you think of George Carlin back in the day talking all this stuff, and it's just like watching the systems fall and people going nuts and doing stuff, and you're looking at it like, yeah, I saw it coming.
And
you
then
know?
there's me. Can't we all just get along?
I think that's what it takes to get to that point. That's unfortunate, but I think that's what it takes. I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know. Anyway, dude,
All right.
fucking
Yeah.
love talking
This is
to you.
our
That's
show,
fun.
and that
Yeah.
was our show. And Matt, you were an amazing guest.
He's an
Thanks for
amazing
having me.
guy.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that has helped me over the years.
Please do.
Can I do that? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I just
Please shout out.
thank my wife Eliza Fox, my son Wiley Wilkins, my buddy Brent Curtis, who he read pretty much everything I ever wrote. He died a year and a half ago. All the people and the For Culture, Artist Trust, Seattle Arts Commission, whatever those things are called now. Public Access, that was fucking awesome. Screaming Flea was fucking awesome. Ample, 44 Blue, my buddy Dan Ayala, and Aaron Castillo, and everybody who worked on The Things We Told, The Ones We Love. That was fucking awesome. Frances Hearn is a great actress. I worked on 3 movies with her. Probably getting boring now.
They're not boring at all.
and the
These
Hoarders
are
crew.
important people.
And the Hoarders crew.
Yeah, for sure.
Brian Miller, Chad Finley, Curtis Marlowe, Eric Soma, Homiak, Matt Paxton, Dr. Tompkins, Dr. Green, Dr. Zazio.
Sazio, yeah.
There's a bunch of other people out there. Eric Castillo, Jason Brewer, Brad Vanderberg, Brian Musser, Tim Coulter, David Teitelbaum, Alice Ikeda. Alice Ikeda ran the casting department on Hoarders. She was fucking amazing. That's why that show's so good. George Butts, showrunner. Matt Chan, who came up with the idea way back in the day.
Look at all the people.
Yeah. There's more. I'm
That
sure I
got
forgot a
you.
whole bunch.
It's okay though, because
fucking
you gave a
beautiful.
lot of
Yeah.
people credit for.
Yeah, there's like
And
4
everybody
people pissed
helped
off at
me,
you.
and then they got sick of helping me because I took too much, and then they burnished me from their lives. I thank you too.
Aww, that's a gangster.
It's fucking good. No, it's good. No, for you to even remember everybody, that means
Yeah.
something. That's a big
No,
deal,
it does.
buddy.
It
That's
does.
that's fucking cool. Good for
There's a
you.
lot of people that
Badass.
that
Badass.
have to help you to make something happen, and that's really cool that you recognize them. So
Yeah. Keith Fox. Shit.
just keep going until we stop this shit. You can keep throwing them in there
It's
as much
fucking
as you
beautiful.
want.
I love it. I love it, dude.
Oh, we don't have
Dorothy
Chuck
Brenninger.
here.
No.
Dorothy Brenninger. Standalin Robertson.
It's gonna be shitty when he drives home because he's gonna remember.
That
I know
Remember
he's gonna
10 of
start
them.
remembering
I know.
everyone, and he's gonna be like, "Damn!"
Brian Purcell.
He's gonna call him. I'm
So
sorry.
sorry. I fucking forgot.
I know, it's fun.
Matt, welcome.
Eric
Wilkins.
Volksdorf.
You are an awesome guest. You are
Yeah.
an
The
awesome
best,
guest.
dude. The
Thanks
best.
so much.
Yeah.
No, dude.
And thank you for recognizing everyone, that's helped you on your path.
Yeah, it matters.
and
I know there's
stuff.
more.
I know there is.
I know.
there is,
And on the
buddy.
way home, you're literally gonna be calling
Jimmy
No.
Hook.
Shit.
He's the guy who gave me that first start to finish grant way back in the day.
Awesome.
Badass.
Yep. Deborah Girdwood. Michael Cyrus.
Still thinking of him. I love you. You're amazing.
You're badass, dude.
Badass.
It's great. It's great.
We are going to
Good for
close
you.
up the show now. You were an
Beautiful,
amazing guest,
beautiful.
Thanks for
and
having me.
all of the
Thank you,
people
guys.
that you named
Thank
are
you.
amazing people,
Yeah.
obviously.
Thanks for Hoarders. Thanks for Around the Reel.
Thank you,
Yes,
brother.
thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you've done. And
Yes.
it's very nice to know you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
great to
really
meet you,
appreciate
too.
your time.
Yeah.
Seriously, buddy.
Great
It's
to
it's
meet
fucking
you,
cool
Aaron.
to know. And we just
Yeah.
ran into him at a little
We
film
did,
thing
yeah.
on Saturday.
Oh, Daniel Hickey, the guy who
Daniel
put that
Hickey.
event. Without Daniel
Yes.
Hickey,
We
would've
love
never met,
Daniel
right?
Hickey. We
Yeah,
absolutely
great guy.
adore
Great guy.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, and that's just fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's
it
what
is
it's
cool.
about.
Yeah,
That's what
you
it's
run
about.
into people sometimes, and you're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I'm
E-
glad to have
exactly.
run into you and know you.
Yeah.
And yes, Daniel Hickey. We shout out Daniel Hickey because he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He's got a great heart.
He just
Yeah.
really wants everyone to succeed
I
and
know.
everyone. He
Yeah.
wants to
Best.
shine the light on everyone creative, and I
Yeah.
love him for that.
Yeah.
And the only reason
So,
we didn't put a
you're a
movie in
badass.
there is because I wasn't trying to show up at everybody. I just came to watch people's stuff.
That's what
Like
he
I said.
said.
Oh,
No,
and
that's
Mechanic Dan.
He actually
Mechanic
was
Dan.
too.
Mechanic
He was
Dan.
too late. He was too late. Don't let him lie to you.
We were gonna film that weekend. We were supposed to film that weekend, and then it got rescheduled, and then it was too late. That's what happened. But,
Anyway.
but honestly, though,
Oh, Stan Masterlers and Alan Prezan.
Oh,
All right, I'm done.
all right,
Sorry, keep it a road.
No, I love you for that.
Yes.
That's great. That's
ladies
great.
and gentlemen, Matt Wilkins.
Yes. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, brother,
for being on our
for being
show.
on the show.
And coming to our house.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
actually at our house
It's awesome.
with a little toilet.
If you need to go, I'll show you how to use it.
You can
All right,
just use
everybody.
the other one.
We'll see everybody later.
Bye. For those of you that want to be a guest on Around the Reel, please email Sam at aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
Not Messenger. Do not message Aaron on Messenger because then he has to send you a message that says email Sam at aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
How come they can't just message me again?
Because nobody wants to fucking talk to you.
Can anybody reach out? That's an artist, filmmaker, actor.
If you're an artist of any kind, we want to hear from you.
But we are going to vet the crap out of you.
We don't care if you make millions of dollars in Hollywood or if you're just beginning your career in the art industry. We don't care. So everybody that wants to be on Around the Reel, yes, we want you.
That's aroundthereel253@gmail.com.